Hello, everyone back home, and welcome to the Totally Normal Folks podcast. I am your host for this episode, Ars Darta, and join with me, of course, are my co-hosts, Satya Pramesi and Daniel Anugrah. How are you guys doing?
I just want to say, the last time I called Daniel Anugrah, he got mad at
You
me.
know what? I forgot about that.
He was like, I don't like identifying
full
myself
names?
with Daniel Anugrah.
You know what? Yeah.
Maybe you can just call me Daniel next time. And the fact that you can get away with it says a lot about this patriarchal, hyper masculine society where men can get away with anything.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like the guy with the biggest muscles wins every single time.
It's not okay, man.
If only. If only that's how the world works.
What
If
an
only.
unfair world.
Oh,
he
know,
would be employed.
to be fair, shut the fuck up. To be fair, maybe the viewers at home don't notice, but we've actually, you guys, been in hiatus for about 3 months, a little over 3 months now.
When was the last time we recorded? It was actually in August.
It's July.
July.
The
even.
August is the scrapped secret episode that will never see the light of day.
Because
No,
we
you
said
see,
some
if
fucked
you
up
want to
shit in
see the
there.
secret episode, is what you do is you go down to our Patreon and then subscribe, and then you get to see the secret failed episode, which has some banger points. If I might add.
If you're watching this when we're several episodes deep and we've built a very solid fan base and you're part of the few people who know the lore, spam us in the comments of our whatever episode we're on at this point in our career and say release the secret third episode.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Release the secret third episode.
You got
If enough loyal fans spam us at some point in our career in the future, we will release it.
Yeah. So technically, this is the third episode. The release the secret episode 2.5.
Yeah.
Unless this episode doesn't get released either. In
Yeah.
which case,
We're speaking to no one.
we
Yeah.
are speaking to absolutely nobody.
Hello, Daniel, in the edit.
And you might have noticed something else that's a little different compared to our last episode.
Okay, can I announce it, bro?
Of course you can.
I got a haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
look at
great
this.
haircut as well.
Right?
No, I like it. I
Right?
like it a lot.
What do you think,
Yeah,
Kim?
what do you think, Kim?
Yeah. Man of few words.
Yeah.
No.
Man of few words.
But I am a fan of your haircut. I like to say
Thank you.
it's
Right?
it's very aerodynamic.
Right.
You know, I can see the high pressure air going through
Yeah.
the thick part of your.
Bro.
I always-
was
Bro,
gonna
Bro,
say
just wait.
bush.
You'll see until he hits the DRS zone.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
He's gonna go so fast.
Whenever
Oh,
I get to
amazing.
my barber, I always go, cut it for combat. Build this hair for combat. That's what I always say.
No, I love it.
But anyway, yeah, joining us again after 3 months. But for viewers, obviously, it didn't feel like any time has passed at all. But we're back, the three of us. It's been a while, so I want to ask before we begin to the actual podcast topic. I want to ask you guys, how has it been? It's been a while. A lot of things have happened to us and to our country in the past few months since we've recorded last. Well, I think a good point to start with, we should congratulate our boy Satya for getting a job. Something I have not been blessed with.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, but you've hit your stride, man. You got something real nice going on with Indonesia last week. Everyone at home probably already knows this because you're going viral every other reel. Why don't you talk about your
More
recent
viral than
developments?
this podcast, I'll be honest.
Oh, we got 4 subscribers in there.
4 subscribers.
There you go.
Well, I started a social media thing. It's going well. And we're making episodes. I'm making episodes.
Uh-huh.
Whenever I feel like it.
Yeah.
And I'm also legally bound to make 2 episodes for the Singaporean media company Tech in Asia.
Hey.
So that's been going on recently, and
So you're now publicly affiliated with Tech in Asia.
I
That's
am
something
publicly affiliated with
Okay,
Tech in
cool,
Asia.
cool.
Yeah, I am funded by foreign organizations.
Oh, antek asing.
Yeah, bro.
Oh
Big
damn,
time,
bro!
big time. Here to bring down.
You're gonna hit you with the
Indonesian
I
politics.
forgot what the fuck it's called in Singapore, like SIPA or some act like that. The
I actually,
Foreign Interventions Act.
I actually have no idea, but apparently, I will say this: I get to say whatever I want,
Really?
No way.
pretty much.
You have
Unheard of,
full
bro.
editorial control.
Well, I mean, it's more like will the jokes land or not?
Oh,
know,
okay.
that's good. That's good.
You're like John Oliver and HBO.
Yeah. I mean, I just gotta hope I don't have to say anything bad about the Singaporean government. In which case, no,
Everything's fine in Singapore.
Everything's absolutely fine.
It's
in
a
Singapore.
utopia.
It really is. It really is. Wow, what a great
Absolutely
place.
nobody's depressed.
Now this is a problem because now this is colliding with the stuff that I do for my job.
Oh no! I know exactly what your job is as well.
We've been POFMAT like 3 times.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Let's avoid this.
Unlike you,
I don't know if I want to avoid this. Actually, I'm curious, Daniel.
All right.
What did you do?
My organization.
what did you do? As in, like, what does he do as a job?
No,
Yeah.
as in like, what are you gonna get in trouble for?
In Singapore?
No, just anywhere,
What do you mean?
like Indonesia, Singapore. Because I feel like I'm so the way Indonesia last week, for those of you who don't know, is framed. It's sort of like, I wouldn't say it's necessarily anti-establishment, but the way that it comes off is certainly anti-establishment. And so
Oh,
I can
yeah, that's
imagine,
true.
I can imagine if it weren't for the fact that I was doing it in English, I'd probably be in a little bit of trouble. But the fact but because I am doing it in English, and because the way that I write and the way that I present is very much kind of like, it's subtle.
You have to kind of understand the language enough to read between the lines.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
For it to be offensive, otherwise it wouldn't be offensive, and technically isn't really technically offensive
Yeah.
anyway.
That's the cheat code really for like escaping the buzzers, the Indonesian buzzers.
Yeah, 100%.
Just make your shit in English.
Make it in English, and make it just sarcastic and under the table, if you not necessarily under the table, but subtle.
It's a lot more of like a slipperier space, I guess.
Yeah.
As opposed to like the Indonesian buzzer space where it's like it's immediately on you, and then next thing you know you're doxxed, your children are doxxed, your uncles are doxxed,
Yeah.
you've lost your job, and your chicken farm business. I don't know.
Yeah.
Chicken from man, my lily business, bro.
Your
LA business,
That's where
exactly.
the money's at. That's where the money's at, bro.
ILW definitely skirts that boundary very much, but it doesn't go beyond it, in my opinion.
No, yeah,
Which
I
is
see
where I
that.
think I want to keep it. So I've talked a lot more about ILW than I expected. I got to be honest. At first, I was gonna be like, I'll just give him a few words to create dead air.
And
But I
we've now spent 5 minutes
Yeah,
on it.
I just learned that I really like talking about myself, and I'd like to do it more.
That's
Yeah,
great.
that's
Yeah.
why we have.
Do you know who else has been actually discovering that about themselves and
Go on.
we've been really doing really really well at it?
Who?
So Arya, what have you been doing?
Oh, I thought you were talking about yourself.
No.
And I was about to say this. That's why it's nice to have this rotating hosting,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
that
that's
way,
true.
like you
That's
can
true.
you can talk more about yourself,
Yeah.
Yeah,
which
man.
you couldn't have otherwise done if you were the host.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
took the limelight for a little bit, bro. You deserve it.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
And
as
we're
if-
all really proud of you for Indonesia last week. Like genuinely, that's a
Cheers.
really cool thing.
Cheers, boys. I appreciate that. I will be running for president in 2045. So
Now we've been know this, bro.
when that time comes, I expect you to vote for me.
I swear my.
If I'm
allegiance,
still
bro.
alive by then, yeah, of course.
If you don't, there will be repercussions.
I'll run your communications office.
Damn.
Ooh.
I'll run however much propaganda you want, bro.
Hang on.
For
We-
those
we
of
need
you
to be
who
very-
know us
we
in
need-
real life, it's
we-
gonna be that joke really, really is funny.
We need to be very careful here.
Now we're gonna
That's
stop.
all I'm saying.
That's all I'm doing.
Exactly.
That's all I'm doing.
Hey, if
Alright.
you know, you know.
I'm just saying that I will support Satya's endeavors wherever he finds himself. At.
No, you will support my endeavors.
I will. I have no choice. I have no choice
You
in that.
will support my endeavors.
because we're
Our
part of,
glorious leader.
because we're part of the same thing, or are you doing like a an intimidation thing?
You will
I'm intimidated.
support my endeavors.
I'm intimidated. All right, I will. I swear to God, Supreme Leader Satya has a nice ring to it.
It does.
Anyway, you were posing a question to me.
Yeah, you were. I do apologize
Yeah,
I
for
was
that.
doing.
You
Go
definitely
ahead.
it straight back.
Yeah. Actually, I want. You might not know this, Satya, but like, upon hearing that you got yourself gainful employment through shit posting on social media, I was like clapping, proud of that boy. And also at the same time, motherfucker, this son of a bitch, this son of a bitch.
I should also I should also be honest and add a layer to that. It wasn't necessarily you. I think for the both of us, that moment kind of landed when you're like, oh, Satya's doing a thing and he's got really, really popular. It's really, really nice. And then you got like you put it on your resume or something. You get help. You got hired. Be like, damn, I didn't know we could do that.
Yeah.
But then
I had no idea we could do that too.
yeah. But I also remember it was we had this conversation where there was like a particular moment when you were talking with your wife.
Yeah.
And then you were reminded of a mutual friend of ours who was like, oh, always has a lot of ideas. And that's honestly the thing that I was also scared of becoming.
Yeah.
And it being like, always be like, we have a lot of ideas. And then 6 months down the line, the ideas can come to fruition. And then we both kind of be like, nah.
like it's like as your friend, I'm so happy that you found a success, but also like the fact that you've made it and like it took you to just be brave enough to put yourself out there kind of like pushed me, and I think also push you a little bit to like really try.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And like really just like don't be like too scared about it, don't think too much about it. Just like put yourself out there and try, you know? Like I think it's fair to say like you've inspired us to try and put yourself out there, and this is part of it. Like continuing this podcast, escaping the hiatus, and posting stuff online finally is because of Satya and his endeavors in Indonesia last week.
This is really feeding my ego.
Honestly. I was just being like, why am I scared of being perceived? Like Satya's out there being like just a fucking goofball, and it's got him like 20K followers on TikTok or some shit like that. So I mean, like,
you have 20,000 followers on TikTok,
on Instagram, yeah.
On the Indonesia last week Instagram.
On Indonesia last week Instagram.
That's where all the followers are going. I thought they were going to your personal Instagram.
No, they really weren't. I tried to make it. I mean, in the first I would say couple of weeks, it had to hitch on my profile, obviously, because otherwise it wouldn't even gain any traction.
Yeah.
But then eventually, at some point, the amount of followers on ILW overtook the amount of followers on my Instagram, and at that point I was like, you know what, I don't want any more attention to my personal Instagram, because that really is for like personal.
Right.
It's kind of like a mix between like my personal album and my CV.
It's like you don't want it to be too much of a LinkedIn profile.
Exactly, and I don't want my own sort of like ILW content to overtake my personal content, because I really cherish that personal content for myself. Like I like looking at my own feed and thinking, oh, that's a lovely picture of me and my wife. That's
actually true. Yeah, that's something I'm struggling with as well. Is that, like, if I want to make something, where is it going to reside? And like the dichotomy of where it's going to reside is kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
My problem is I've already have like, if I open my Instagram, there's already like, I already run like 4 accounts.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got like...
That's a lot of accounts, in fairness.
I have my Insta that I built in high school. I have my Insta that I built sometime just before the pandemic. And that's the main one I use now, because like the Insta that I had since high school used to be a photography Insta. It's just like I got tired of doing it. And then there's my fashion Instagram, which I made in like 2022, which is kind of like kind of on hiatus as well. And then there's my 4th Finsta, which is when I just shit post. And then
bro's Instagram has DID, man.
So hang on. So which Instagram are we following? Like, are we actually? Do you consider us your friends?
You're following the one that I'm most active on, which is Dan's over here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one where I'm being like, haha, goofy. Very, very real, but also, I try to be like
cool
as well.
You are cool. Don't get me wrong.
Very cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
The coolest guy in the room.
Swear.
Hey.
He's the only one with tattoos. Automatically makes him cooler.
It really does. It really does.
Yeah.
He's not the flattest one though.
No, he's not the flattest one.
The flattest one is he's got a thumbs up and smiling. Look at his smile.
I'll also say he's also the funniest man.
He's the funniest guy.
He really is.
Like,
including this one.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Kim, say something funny.
Oh,
he kills it
Every time.
He kills it.
What a guy.
Bro.
What a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy.
We love you, bud.
Yeah, man. Anyway, like, that said, this is supposed to be like an icebreaker. We don't have to like spend too much.
We spent 20 minutes on the
Jesus,
icebreaker. It's
time is-
hilarious.
It's fine.
But anyway, yeah, like I'm in addition to like now doing all the TNF stuff, I'm trying to do this video series that I posted weekly. I try to, as long as I don't run out of ideas and don't burn myself out. But it's art for art's sake, and we're like just appreciating the process of making art, basically. Just like a way to
Let's go.
talk to myself to be like, hey, don't think too much about it. Just have fun.
I just want to say I've been watching it. You've released 2 videos now. You've released 2 posts.
Yeah, two posts.
I really like it. I mean, I told this to you earlier. I told you this earlier, but I want to repeat again on air just to put it on the
air?
record
So it's on record.
that, as somebody who posts a lot of negative stuff,
Negative.
and I will admit, I do post a lot of negative stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing your videos are such a breath of fresh air.
Aw.
because it
real.
because like it makes me feel okay on the days when I struggle.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm glad. I'm glad
Like-
it can have that effect. You know,
like-
hope core. You know.
Like-
There's still good in this world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like ILW, it's exhausting, and sometimes I feel like what am I doing this for? Right? Like what am I doing this for? You know? But
Yeah.
then I remember when your first video came out. I was actually working on an ILW video. I thought, yeah, I can take it easy. It's okay. I can just kind of do it whenever I feel like there's something that can come out, that needs to come out, and I can have faith that it'll still be relevant when it does come out. What matters most is that I get to enjoy the process, and that's like the theme of your
Yeah.
videos, right? And so I took inspiration from that, and it helped me to realize that okay, maybe I don't need to put out so much stuff every week. And so, if my followers have been asking why I haven't been active on ILW as much, you can blame him.
Oh shit! They're gonna come after me.
We found
Yeah.
him. We found the culprit for why he's no longer posting on Indonesia.
Ladies and gentlemen, we
No,
got.
no,
him.
I'm still posting, just not as much.
But I'm
Get him.
I'm glad. I'm
Yeah.
really touched actually that it connected to you that much, because when you said like, oh, this gives me hope in the world and stuff like that, I actually feel kind of like the opposite. When I was trying to make it and I was trying to post it, I had in my mind was like, I feel like this is just too hokey. It might be a bit too hokey. Like people are dealing with real issues right now. Like I'm just talking about bullshit. That was what was in the back of my mind. But like I was like, it's okay. I like it. I watch it and I'm like, I'm proud of it. So like I'm just posting it out.
Yeah.
But like I'm glad to see. I'm really happy to hear that perspective.
I think one thing that we need to definitely, and I know we're about 18 minutes into our introduction, which is fine. Woo! But one thing that we definitely need to acknowledge as well is that despite, not despite necessarily, but actually a lot of horrible things are happening around the world. And
Yars.
Damn straight.
it doesn't it adds to the pressure that it also adds to the pressure that we have to face to our daily lives. You know what I mean? We want to be politically aware all the time. We want to be we want to keep up with current affairs because of how they can affect us, right?
Yeah.
And so I think and so really the fight against, or the fight for the fight for freedom and the fight for
Civil rights.
human rights,
Yeah.
civil rights starts with ourselves. You know what I mean?
Something just starts with an Instagram post.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it led to a full page with 20,000 followers and a new job on Tech in Asia.
Let's go.
All right, man.
20,000 for now.
20,000 for now.
All right, I
We'll
want.
see.
At the time of this recording.
Which is the 31st of October, 2025.
Happy Halloween.
I love when you timestamp it, because you did that in the last episode. I was like, whoa, July. But anyway, hey, I want to talk about, and I'm moving to
Happy
Dan.
sound, people.
Dan, give us the little lowdown. Like you said, you were also inspired by what Satya did with ILW. What did inspire you to do?
Yeah.
And
What did
please
you
keep
do?
it brief.
You never-
because
you didn't-
my
you-
battery's dying.
You didn't tell us this.
I still good, don't worry.
No, the thing is, No, I'm also. I don't know when this episode gonna come out. Probably the next week or so. But like, I'm also inspired to like do a couple of things also on my Instagram as well. Just posting more stuff. Being more just worrying less about like how is my creation going to be perceived and being like,
Yeah,
hey, I'm having fucking fun. You know what? I'm just gonna like do
damn straight.
whatever. Yeah, so we got a couple of things in the work. A lot of them haven't seen the light of day yet, and hopefully they will. Hopefully they will not die in the cutting room floor like all my other projects before. We if you because if you check your Instagram, you did a thing where we went to Glodok to record, like a sort of like a session of us taking pictures, and there is a lot more footage than like the reel that he posted. There's actually tons and tons of
So
footage.
much.
63 gigabytes of footage.
3.
Yeah,
Holy
and
shit.
yeah, it's sort of like we don't know what we're gonna call this project yet, but we want to like take pictures and discuss the process of taking pictures, why we like taking pictures, but simultaneously we also want to talk about like the space that we're in, like explore. Yeah, so it's like a photography show, but we kind of really try to put like our Anthony Bourdain twist of it and being like, and this is this place and this is this history, and just have fun doing that as well. So that's in the that's just like sitting in DaVinci Resolve right now.
What if Anthony Bourdain was a film snob?
Yeah, right. And then there's also I'm also recording and doing some of the stuff for myself. Again, the trailer for it is out on my personal Instagram.
Oh,
It
that's
is
a banger trailer, man.
Thank you, thank you. Like he helped me make it. That trailer was put together in the span of like 10 minutes. He was practicing camera moves. I was coordinating, but then when he was practicing his camera moves, I was just on a staircase off to the side writing the script for the thing. And it's called I'm calling it Habitus, and it is basically about I want to explore like the places that I've been in and how they shape the lives of the people that live there, but also it's just sort of like that feedback loop when people we build a space, we inhabit it, but then it in turn it shapes our lives, and then we respond to that by building more on top of it. But then when we build more on top of it, it informs our lives, and so now there's just like layers and layers and layers of like the things that we build, but then also the human interaction. And so that's kind of like the thing. And I'm starting my series about like Glodok and like the history of the place, but also how it's kind of changing right now. And hopefully that it's just going to be like a lot more short form content coming out in the next month. I'm
You got this,
crossing
bro.
my fingers.
I'm itching. I'm itching to see it, man.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm looking forward to seeing this. It is October. We are about to enter November tomorrow.
November. This is Halloween. Boo.
Boo.
Happy Samhain.
So, if we are keeping up with our regular
Posting
publishing,
schedule.
Yeah.
publishing schedule, we'll probably see it long after this episode comes out,
Amen.
Yeah, probably.
or long
yeah.
before this episode comes out. Actually, I'm thinking this episode might come out in December.
I no. No, I reckon
Hell
this
no, bro.
episode's gonna probably come out sometime middle November, and
Okay.
a lot of the Habitus stuff I've had planned out is probably coming out in like December.
Please
so.
God,
Great.
I'm running out of clips, man.
Fantastic. No, yeah, I
Shut
can,
the fuck up! You're not running out of clips.
I
You
can
got
tell.
2
I've
hours,
seen-
dog.
Hey, but I really like how individually like we're creating, but also we're dipping our toes into like different niches. We're in different
Collaborating.
styles of things that we're creating, and I think maybe I subconsciously or consciously did that because like, I at some point I thought of like, oh, I'll make an like some sort of like spoof news show, but I didn't want to like, like I don't want to like, this is just like what Messi's doing. So like I think we've all kind of like consciously, subconsciously
Like we branched out into
we
our
branched
own
out into
spaces.
doing our own
Yeah.
things, and so it's kind of like a very diverse kind of like
Yeah.
set of creations we've got here. So that's really nice.
Let's last point before we move into like the actual podcast.
Yeah.
Let's like, what's our individual brands right now? Because I know you're doing like a spoof news show,
Yeah.
which is very unique. Because like I guess we all know late night shows and stuff like, but no one's ever really done it in Indonesia, which is why that's your brand. That's a very, very strong
Yeah,
brand.
very satirical,
Yeah.
very kind of like
Yeah. What's his
oh,
brand?
nice.
Are you asking
Guy.
me what my? Or are you
I
asking
mean,
them?
you could also
you can
contribute,
also
but we're also
contribute,
like, this
yeah,
is an
yeah.
open discussion.
It
This
is.
is a 3-way
My
discussion.
It's a 3-way.
my
Thanks,
yo.
Daniel.
Um,
It's actually a 4-way
oy,
with Kim.
yeah,
You
know.
guys gotta stop forgetting him. Honestly,
I'm
It's
not
so
forgetting.
No,
mean.
He's right
I think
there.
Kim is no, Kim is
He's
just
right
happy
there.
watching.
Kim is just that.
Oh, no, he's in the corner
Kim's
too.
the cuck.
He's in the.
The K in Kim stands for cuck.
The K in Kim.
Kim.
It's
we'd
K-
love
it's-
for you
it's-
to
You
join
love me
us.
so
It's-
much,
it's
my
spelled
dear
K-
dark boy.
Please, please. What kind
Eh.
of? Wait, yeah, go ahead. Sorry. What was your-
Brand. I don't know if I've settled on it yet, but definitely like with art for art's sake, it's kind of like a. I want to be kind of like hope core, kind of like enjoy yourself, enjoy the moment, be present, kind of like weekly vlog-ish kind of like situation. And there's like other stuff that I want to make, but like it's
Yeah.
I don't want to just I don't want to say shit until I actually have the thing
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, you? What's
Got
your
that, you
personal
got that
brand?
goofy act of creation.
Yeah,
going
you
on.
do. Yeah, you do have that
Yeah.
goofy act of creation.
Yeah.
I do want to
Yeah. 'Cause-
channel goofiness.
Yeah, because like from what as far as I know, it's like the act of creation in the moment of you actually making stuff is goofy as hell.
Yeah, it's
I
really
remember
Really
making
is.
stuff like
Oh
that.
my god, yeah.
Yeah, like the 20 minutes we spent trying to set up the couches
Uh-huh,
to make
uh-huh.
this podcast, that was goofy as hell.
The first time I made an ILW video, I was thinking, what am I doing wearing a shirt and a jacket while with boxers? You know?
Oh yeah, I
In
forgot
front
that
of
bit.
my-
You had
yeah.
that bit on there.
in front of my and in the middle of my kitchen using my ironing board as a tripod. You know? Like
You use your ironing board as a tripod.
I use my ironing board as a tripod, yeah.
You still do?
I still do.
Wow.
No.
That's fucking baller, man.
I think I use my ironing board as a tripod, and then on top of that I have a gimbal. So it's like it's both high tech and low tech at the same time.
No excuses. You can create with anything.
Exactly. And no matter how goofy you look,
Cyberpunk solutions.
yeah, exactly. No matter how goofy you look, like as long as you do it, you know,
The
you do it.
substance is what matters.
You do it for the kicks, man.
The chalons, bro.
Yeah.
Wait, with Dan, like I've been know this since like a long while. Back when we were still doing Hypothesa, and there's lots of your DNA in that, in the new stuff that you're making. You know what I mean?
A lot of DNA.
It's like the
70%.
very kind of like sophisticated, very well researched,
yeah.
layered,
No, it's true.
with a hint of edge, kind of like a lot.
I do
especially-
appreciate that you recognize the hint of edge. because
especially
I do
in
like
the
that.
aesthetic. There's lots of
Yeah.
edge in the aesthetic. I think you've gotten edgier since we've been doing since Hypothesa days, like pre 2020, and now
Yeah.
look at all the tats you have.
Woo!
That's how you know he's gotten extra edge.
Yeah, man.
I've been edged, bro.
All
All right.
right, so let's continue.
Shall we?
Let's get on to the podcast, everybody. We're only like how many minutes in?
We're half an hour in.
Excellent.
28 minutes in.
Hey, with that kind of math, this might actually last. For context, I forgot my charging cable.
How much battery does it have left,
It's
by the
about
way?
44%.
That's not bad. I think we can make it.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can make
For
it.
audio listeners, the laptop that I'm recording this on is rapidly running out of battery. Not rapidly, but I didn't bring
Slowly
a
running
charger.
out of
I didn't
battery.
bring a charger.
So if Arya's
Neither did I bring spare batteries for the camera, by the way. So this
Oh,
is
no.
This is it.
All right.
What you see? What's it get?
Lock in.
Let's
We
go.
gotta
Lock in. Let's go. Lock in.
Anyway, guys, before we all got to the esteemed places that we find ourselves in right now, we're all very highly successful men in a highly successful field, and we're all definitely employed. But before we got all this, we all went to what? Say with me.
jail.
You went to jail?
You didn't?
Anyway, we all went to school, right? We all went to the usual bouts, in kindergarten. Did everyone go to kindergarten? Before kindergarten, there's another level.
Playgroup.
Was it prison?
Did
Oh.
you went to child prison, with baby prison?
I went to baby prison. Yeah. I murdered a man.
It's fucking
Damn.
fucking baby prisons, man.
Yeah, bro.
It's tough shit. Anyway, yeah, we
I
all
didn't
went,
actually murder anyone
the-
just before.
the whole point is that we want to reflect on our individual school days elementary, primary, secondary, high school days, but also just talk about the broader like state of schooling and education in Indonesia and maybe beyond. I don't know because some of us maybe went to school abroad, but let's start there. Like I myself, I went to public school, sekolah negeri, SD, SMP, SMA. But what about you guys? Satya, why don't you start? Tell us a little bit about your schooling experience.
Okay. So I think I first went to either kindergarten or playgroup. I can't exactly remember when.
That's so weird.
Or which.
I don't remember either.
Seriously.
I remember. it's
I
a
remember
blank-
kindergarten. I don't
blank
remember
period.
playgroup. What the fuck was playgroup?
I remember glimpses of kindergarten. I went to this little place called Wisma Balita in South Jakarta. Some of you may have heard of it.
Damn.
I know, right? So fancy. It
Damn.
genuinely was.
He
it-
ballin'.
All the Wisma Balita alums out there, shout out.
Hey, if we were in school around the same time, please DM me on Instagram. I'd love to reconnect. Oh, seriously.
Wisma Balita angkatan 2001.
I know, right? Oh my god! And then after Wisma Balita, I moved to this school called Sekolah Tunas Indonesia in Bintaro. I stayed there for about 2 years. Oh no, I stayed there for a year. After which I moved to the States, to Houston, Texas, to
Houston.
to the school called Nottingham Country Elementary.
It was a public school.
It was a public school, yes.
Damn.
At the
Sorry,
end,
bro.
dude, honestly, it was really nice.
It was?
Yeah.
I
Like,
imagine now.
so to give you a picture of what it was
Uh-huh.
like, this was Houston, and I mean technically the school was in Katy, in a small little town called
Okay.
Katy, but it was basically the suburbs of Houston,
Yeah.
where all of the kind of upper middle class suburbanites
Oh,
live.
so you were in a good school district.
Oh yeah, I was in a
Ah,
I was
I
in a
see.
really nice school district. I mean, my dad worked for an oil company.
There you
You
go.
know, I mean, he still works for an oil company now,
There you go.
but that kind of privilege gets you places, and
Yeah.
I am very grateful for it. Don't get me wrong, I've had the kind of experience that many people haven't. But the suburbs, my area, the suburbs were really nice. The school was absolutely lovely.
Uh-huh.
My teachers were amazing, and this was like post 9/11, but before like the advent of social media. And so it wasn't, we talked about this earlier in the car.
Yeah.
It wasn't as divisive or divided, let's say, as it is
Yeah.
now in the States. It was
No
a
one
lot-
knew who Alex Jones was.
Yeah, exactly.
He was just some crackpot on a radio show.
Exactly. And so my experience at the time was was one of like, friendliness and openness and sort of Southern hospitality.
Southern
know.
hospitality.
And
That was
especially,
when America was great.
yeah.
No comment.
I mean, yeah, George Bush, Afghanistan, Iraq, yeah.
George Bush.
Yeah, no, 100%. It was amazing, yeah.
George Bush.
Syria?
He did wonders.
No, he really
For
did.
America.
What a guy.
Among many things he did.
Fool me once.
Shame on you.
I'll put the clip in.
And Dick Cheney? What a guy.
Oh, boy.
What a guy.
Good old Dick Cheney.
No, anyway,
Halliburton, baby.
moved back to Jakarta in 2008. In the midst of the financial crisis of the GFC. Went straight into an international school.
Okay.
I gotta be honest because and I'm really glad I went to an international school
Okay,
because if I went straight to into a national school, like even if it was private, I would have been fucking eaten alive. You know?
Yeah, they would have
Uh-huh.
they've spat
Yeah.
you out. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was already pretty. I was already pretty like. I wasn't badly beaten. Like I wasn't like bullied that much.
Yeah.
In my school, but I feel like if I was still bullied in my school, but it's kids.
Who wasn't?
Exactly. But
Some people weren't.
some people weren't. Let's be
Some
honest.
people
yeah.
weren't. As hard as it is to
These
manage.
lucky
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
I
yeah.
know, right?
Continue.
And if I went to a national school, private or public, yeah, it would have been even worse. Because I came back
No, yeah.
with zero knowledge of Indonesian, apart from the fact that I can understand Indonesian,
Yeah.
but I couldn't speak Indonesian. And even today, I still struggle. Like, I think you've noticed a lot of my media is in English. I speak to you all in English, even
Yeah.
outside of the podcast.
Bro, what language do you dream in, bro?
Actually, Farsi. Surprisingly enough, yeah.
Oy vey, that's not Farsi.
That is not Farsi at all. Bro. No. I honestly though, I've always wanted to learn like
Farsi?
Arabic, Farsi. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool
It's
language.
been
I always
really
wanted to learn
curious.
Arabic, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, international school, super privileged. A lot of the kids around me were very privileged as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
Including among them, my wife.
yeah, surprisingly. Oh my god.
Which is like the craziest thing that we only just like realized like way later in our friendship.
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
you should continue.
Yeah. And the education there I think was for Indonesian standards, definitely top notch. But I think, a lot of I was struggling with a lot of things that I didn't realize until later in life was being on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
I know. And it was and like the I wouldn't say the symptoms were necessarily mild, but they weren't. But but you know how it's a spectrum, and so it's like some are severe, some are
Yeah,
kind of
let's
like,
just say
it's,
that
you know,
like the
and-
way that we identify autism back then and even now is still very, very narrow in this one
100%.
very, very specific
Yeah.
sort of like representation of autism, and we all think it's like that
Yeah.
way. We can all like drop a clip of that really stupid show with the
Yeah.
doctor in it, right? And it's like, nah, that's not. That's
You
not
mean
what
like
autism is.
Doctor? What's that name?
It's the guy with it's the one with Freddie Highmore in it, like
Yeah, it's a doctor with autism, right?
yeah.
yeah.
It's like a very very like stereotypical type
Yeah.
of autism.
Also, okay, brief tangent on that show. That the consultants for like the autistic representation that show is like this organization called Autism Speaks.
Oh, I
which
know
is a
Autism
really,
Speaks, yeah.
really
Yeah,
bad organization.
no
with a
good.
horrible
They're like
reputation.
full on anti-vax, right?
Speak-
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them, but like even their logo kind of sucks, and it's just like Autism Speaks, more like Autism Shut the fuck up.
Honestly, no. They do not speak for us. Yeah.
Not for
You're
me.
talking about it?
Yeah, and like I didn't realize what was going on back then. And so I noticed this pattern where in the beginning I would always do really well, but then eventually I would just taper off and just kind of like barely pass.
Okay.
And I realized that a part of that was that I wasn't really kind of like I wasn't really in tune with what I needed to be able to
Right.
Definitely, yeah.
to excel in those particular
Yeah.
studies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yes, like there was help. We had counseling, and the counseling teachers were amazing.
Yeah.
But at that point in time, I hadn't been diagnosed, and I had to sort of like I had to learn later in life that actually it wasn't your fault. Like
Yeah.
you barely graduated, but you graduated. Great job, you.
Yeah.
But also, had you known, you probably could have done this. You probably could have done things differently. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And it was only after that I was like, oh, I can forgive myself.
yeah, it
you
is
know,
what it is.
and it's
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I will say, being in an international school, graduating from an international school, is a massive privilege.
Massive.
A huge privilege. I wouldn't have been able to study in the UK otherwise, which is where I went to university for a degree that I didn't end up using. Transport
Nobody
product
does
design.
that.
That's true. That's true. You never know. I could design Indonesia's very first car.
Yeah. Or you could be
Ooh.
making like content about transportation.
That might be interesting.
Yeah,
Maybe
Yeah.
once the political situation is kind of like calmed
Yeah.
down, where
Yeah.
Indonesia's stable, I can be like, let's talk about cars, everybody. Ooh.
Yeah. You know what you could talk about that's simultaneously political, media related, and talk about cars, bro. You could talk about public transportation. and the
Honestly, that is so
solutions.
true.
I love
Yeah.
public
We are
transportation.
incredibly this is going to be a different podcast topic.
Yeah.
entirely. We're an incredibly car centric society, at least here in like Jakarta, and like at least motorcycle centric thing. And then it's not
We
a
are.
lot
We
of,
are.
like, infrastructure for like
Yeah.
public like transportation.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
So
Gotta get off that soapbox before
I,
I occupy it.
That was your school experience.
very privileged.
Yeah.
Very privileged. I have to say.
Yeah, honestly, like it is a world that I'm not too familiar with because I went to public school.
Yeah.
But like just like seeing, because my wife went to the same school that you did, and like a lot of her family also. And like I see a glimpse of like the opportunities provided and the avenues that were provided to kids.
Yeah.
Not just academically, but like also like creatively speaking.
Yeah, no,
like
it's true. It's true.
plays and like sports and stuff like that. Just the opportunities. But before we get into that, like Dan, why don't you speak on your school experiences a little bit? Did you also go to like private international schools like Messi did?
So yeah, so I would say I got a decent mix of both, but more towards international school. So my story began
No.
in 1997. No, so I went to I can't.
Was that the
I-
year you were born? 1997.
Yeah, I'm a
Oh,
97
yeah.
kid.
We're all
I'm a
97
70.
kids.
98.
Kim, what year? What year were you born?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's actually
okay, okay, yeah.
new information.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Glad that everyone knows that now. No, I was so I can't remember. I'm pretty sure they put me in a play group of some sort, but I just can't fucking remember.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
So I went to my kindergarten, very, very funny. Actually, it's called Teka Daniel. It's called the Daniel
They
Kindergarten.
named it after.
Yeah, because
Wow,
like,
that
I was
must have really
named
fed your ego.
Yeah, I was named after like a Jewish prophet, or also like a biblical prophet. So like, it's a very famous name, you know. It's like and because because I was raised Christian, my family's Christian. We would go to like Christian schools or like Christian communities when we can. Like sometimes the names like lined up. Like I don't know if you like. There's probably like a Santo Paulus. You know, and then there's probably some Christian or like Catholic kid out there who's also has like Paulus in their name, and everyone
Yeah.
gets like, "Hey, you went to the school, you own the school," and be like, "Guys, I just go here." Anyways, that was kindergarten. For first grade, I went to. So I grew up much like your family, or my family also has a background in like oil. So I went to a school that was sort of like connected to like the company town where they were drilling oil in Pekanbaru. It's called like the SD Cendana. That's where like my mom went as well, because we've been living there for a while. And then after that, in second grade, I moved to the great, wonderful city of Bandung, and for about maybe 3 months attended a public school where I did not survive. For our second grade, I went to like SD Santo Paulus.
That's a public school?
It's public school. I think it's like
Really?
I'm not sure actually. It might be private, but it's also like still built very, very much
Right.
in like the way it felt a lot like a public
Okay.
school, right? And I did not survive there, mostly because it was just massive. Again, I did not get the support that I had, and my parents were like, "Damn, what's wrong with this kid? He's like, I know he's struggling, but maybe he's struggling a little bit too much." And that was and then second grade, that's when I got my ADHD diagnosis. And then they were like, "All right, we gotta pull this kid," and they pulled me. And then they put me in an institution that I would spend most of the rest of my elementary, middle school, and high school life in. I went to a school. And this is going to be an interesting drop. I went to a classical Christian school.
What does that mean?
Exactly. That's the first question everyone asks. What the fuck is a classical education? Do you know what a classical education is?
I assume it has like Mozart or
No, it's
Beethoven,
not. So classical education,
Vivaldi.
specifically classical Christian education, Uh, although, yeah, when most people say classical education, they mostly refer to classical Christian education. I don't know if there's any such thing as a non-Christian classical education. Okay, classical education was like thought up by a bunch of like homeschoolers in probably the American South. I'm not so sure, but there were a bunch of homeschoolers in America, and they were like, let's model our kids' education after like Greco-Roman philosophy, which is like the classical period of education, and like, like Plato and Socrates and the Socratic method, and like Aristotle, but without the gay shit. They were mostly like uh they divided it into, oh god, now I'm trying to remember. Now I'm forgetting. We didn't call our middle school or junior high. We called it the School of Logic.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you always
Which
have
is like,
like
grades 7 through 9. And then grades 10, 11, 12 was the School of Rhetoric.
The School of Logic and the School of Rhetoric.
Oh yeah, no, and then like grades 1 through 6, like elementary school was called the School of Grammar. So grammar, logic, rhetoric, and the idea behind that was like you would graduate from different like complexities of thought. Like here, like you're mostly learning like the grammar of like how to say things, and then the School of Logic, you're learning like the logic of how the world works. And then School of Rhetoric, you're learning to like regurgitate that logic in a way that is like persuasive and also speaks to who you are.
I mean, taking that out, I mean, just looking at that in a pure kind of like little bubble of its own, it sounds,
It was back then. It was like it wasn't really international school because there was like legal ramifications of that. It was national plus. But yeah, I like 90% of my education was done in English.
Right.
It was like there were a lot of white teachers around. And like yeah, and then it was incredible. It was an incredibly like privileged experience as well. And on top of being privileged, I think there was a thing. Oh no, Kim, are you okay?
I think he's a bit tired.
Okay,
okay.
you don't have to say much after this if you.
Yeah,
if you're
he's
okay.
good.
All right. Yeah.
He'll be a bit quiet.
Anyways, the thing that I wanted to add on to what you were saying about international schools, actually, that in addition to being privileged, obviously, it's also like an incredibly like sheltered experience as well.
100%.
Where like
100%. Yeah, big time.
I don't know them personally, but I'm acquainted with people, and who like have never had in their entire lives, and there would be like ninth graders by this point, but they would have never experienced like bakso pinggir jalan, because like they're maybe like they've never had it, or their parents wouldn't allow them, and being like, damn. And yeah, that was the kind type of like shelter experience that I experienced. Anyways, yeah, that was it. That's basically what my education looked like. And so I had a very, very weird trajectory because the education was so specialized. I had like, yeah, when I was like seventh, I I was in Indonesia, but from 5th grade through 9th grade, or from 5th grade through 8th grade, I had Latin. Other people had like Mandarin, or like Bahasa Sunda, or
like the
Bahasa
ancient
Melayu.
language
Yeah.
of the
That
Romans.
Yeah,
nobody
like-
speaks.
That nobody fucking speaks, and I don't frankly speak anymore because like, what the fuck am I gonna use Latin for? I guess it like helps you become smarter. But yeah, again, it was this very, very much thing of like, again, this was designed for American homeschools, like who didn't want to like, who still wanted to teach creationism to their kids and whatnot, and wouldn't want to send them to like public schools. That was the idea. That was the it's not the thing. Classical Christian education is no longer that, but that's like that was in the DNA.
Yeah.
So, in addition to like having things like, yeah, I like from like 9th grade to 10th grade, I had like logic. I had to like learn fallacies and how to structure it, and then instead of like language arts in like 11th grade and 12th grade, I had rhetoric, where I had to like write like a 50-page thesis, and then like at the end of my 12th grade year, present that and defend. And there was a thesis defense. And that was like, so it was like, one being like, oh, that was very, very useful for when I had to do my dissertation for like my bachelor's degree. But at the same time being like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm very, very glad. At the very least, I'm glad it taught me how to like properly do research, which was when I arrived as a freshman in like an Indonesian university. I found out that a lot of people did not know what like the difference between citing a news website and a blog site was. And that was thankfully something that I learned when I was in 11th grade, when my teacher was like, you cannot do that. You cannot use this.
Yeah.
Right? And yeah, stuff like that. The one thing that I want to add, the last thing before I end this was, in addition to being like weird and classical and all that stuff, kind of stuff, the education that I had was also extremely biased because classical Christian education was was a very, very famous institution in America that was also an evangelical Christian institution.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the I grew up in an incredibly like evangelical Christian, like hardcore. Like I'm not, I can't be certain for sure, but I'm pretty sure like if I talk to some of the like the white teachers that I had back then who are now residing in America, if I talk to them right now, I'm pretty sure half of them would probably be like MAGA voters.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm for certain a couple of them I'm most certainly already am, because like, you know, I still, if I once in a blue moon when I open my Facebook, I'm being like, okay.
If they
Right?
if they ever meet you once again, they'll probably think you're one of the good ones. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No. Oh, actually, no. You make a really good point.
I don't
yeah.
think so.
Yeah, no, it's
I
true.
have pronouns in
true.
my
they're,
bio.
they're
That's
gonna look
true.
at him. It's like, where did we go wrong?
Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I'm
We
pretty
tried
sure,
so hard.
I'm pretty sure that's why I I am no longer invited to career day in my school.
Were you invited back in the day?
Once, yeah, a couple of times I was
Really?
Yeah, because I was one of the good ones. A lot of people said that I was one of the good. Like I this is not a okay, this is not a flex, because if you know how fucked the institution that I came from was, like being one of the good ones from there, being it's like I was a teacher's pet, and that's
Yeah.
cringe. I think that was
Yeah.
pretty probably made you feel really proud if you were a teacher's pet in that moment when
Yeah,
you went to school.
yeah, 100%.
Looking back
yeah.
and being like, oh god, I must have sucked ass like a lot, or like must have done something so wrong that being like had to be teacher's pet. And then yeah, that's probably pretty sure that's why I'm no longer invited to like
Career day.
school day.
Congrats on your liberation, by the way.
Well, unlike you guys, I feel like after hearing your stories, I feel like I'm like the complete 180 of that. I went to, hold on to your butts for this, guys. Public school.
Public school. Whoa.
Sekolah negeri.
Damn, bro.
And like,
Hey, yo, Kim, you don't have to say that, bro.
Yeah.
Okay,
Come on.
that's a little too far.
we gotta bleep that one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, public school, SD, SMP, the primary school, secondary school, and high school. I went to, I'll skip like the playground, playgroup, and kindergarten phase. I went initially, because I live in Jakarta for a bit. I went to, I think it was like a private school, but it was like the shittier kind of private school. It wasn't like a nice international school. Private school, and then third grade I moved to Bali, where my grandparents and my parents are from. And then there I did initially for elementary school, I did like a private school, but like another is like a local private school. It's just like a different coat of paint on like basically the same like structure. And then middle school, high school, both negeri. And the crazy thing is like back then, I remember it was a huge deal for me to get into sekolah favorit, or like the favorite school of that particular regency. Like, oh, you gotta get to this school because this is like the good school, right? And I was like, okay, all right, I'll do my best. That's like,
Yeah.
if that's the best school in the, you know, in the city, like I gotta get there. Like my all your, you know, my grandparents, my parents, they all went to this school. It's supposed to be like a great school. I went there, and only in adulthood did I look back on it, and I was like, this is the exact same fucking school as everywhere
Yeah.
else. Like public schools in Indonesia, they all kind of like are the same
Yeah.
in the sense,
Standardized?
yeah,
Yeah.
in the sense that there's lots of things systematically, structurally problematic about it.
Right.
Teachers being underpaid, like severely,
Severely.
to the point that, and I didn't realize this at the time, that they had to like open up like additional like lessons, like less Like they would teach kids outside of school
Yeah.
hours, and they would even kind of like sometimes design it so that the material that's going to come out on the test is going to come out in the less that I will provide to you outside of school, in which you will have to pay me.
Really, bro? It's pay to win.
It's pay to win.
It's pay to win.
I
No,
swear to God, it's pay to
dog.
win. It's always been.
It's
It's always pay to win. But yeah, it's like I didn't realize it at the time. I was like, oh, wow, like these teachers, they're just like trying to make a quick buck. But now, like understanding like how little teachers, public school teachers, are actually getting paid,
Yeah.
I was like, that's the only way they can survive.
Less than $40 a month, by the way, if you're from
Less
outside
than
Yeah,
of
$40.
for our audience who don't reside in Indonesia, it's 40 bucks a month.
a month.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
also like depending on like which like regency or
Yeah.
region of the country that you're in.
Sometimes it can be lower. It can get
It
lower.
can be way sometimes in certain like I've read articles in like schools in like Papua, they don't even get paid, like they pay out of their pocket to provide sometimes
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the kids, which is like insane. But like
It's
yeah,
a negative. It's a net negative.
it's a
Yeah.
net negative.
Yeah.
They pay to work, but anyway,
Yeah.
like teachers severely underpaid, and also there's the system in place is systematically not designed to like foster growth or make the kids learn, like properly learn, but it's just designed to like make sure to report to like the central government that 100% of our students have passed. They are incentivized not to like provide
That's
the best
interesting.
learning experience, but their incentive is to make sure that
Yeah.
their students pass 100%.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that kind of incentivize teachers to make school less challenging? Well, not necessarily less challenging, because challenge can be bad or it can be good.
Yeah.
But it's more like, you know, how do you increase the quality of school?
So basically, from what I remember,
Yeah.
and like this is not like scientifically researched.
Okay.
But the how it goes is that the degree of difficulty and the curriculum stays the same because it's a national curriculum. So like 11th grade algebra still the same all across the board. It's still difficult, at least for me, because I was dumb as shit. But then like no matter how badly you score on tests or no matter how much you fail, you'll pass anyway. You'll still
What?
pass. They'll pass you. They'll pass you even though I got like me and like other friends because maybe like one, we were dumb as shit, but also secondly like we weren't taught properly. But like our friends, me and like a bunch of other friends could have like we do like a math test, and we'd get like out of 10 we'd get like 3 or 2, and at one point some guy got like 0.8 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like we'd get consistently bad scores, especially me in maths, consistently
Yeah.
bad scores, and I would never have been in any like danger of failing. It got to the point that, now this might be a little bit controversial,
Yes.
but there I'm not saying this is my school. But usually in like the standardized tests, ujian nasional. I don't know if you guys have had standardized tests.
Yeah.
You guys
UN.
had? You guys had UN?
Ujian nasional?
No, I didn't know. I
Oh,
did
because you're IB, right?
I did, yeah. I did UN for after middle school and after
Okay.
primary school,
Yeah.
but not for high school.
for high
no.
school.
Back then,
Yeah,
it used to be called UAN.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
They keep-
Unas
they
even.
Ujian Akhir Nasional.
They keep changing the
They
name,
keep
by the way.
changing what it's called.
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure it's called a completely different thing at this point.
Did they get rid of it at some point?
I haven't kept track.
They
bro.
did get rid of it at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. Did they bring it back after they got rid of it?
I don't know.
It's
I'll have
making
to
it
double
back.
check.
But it always
Bringing it
changes.
back.
I feel like actually my period, during the time that I was in like primary, secondary, and like high school, was probably the most stable period in terms of like the national curriculum, because not much changed. At least maybe I think towards the end it changed a little bit, but this is something that I wasn't aware of at the time because like I didn't know like how governments work. But like yeah, at the time, like in terms of like the education curriculum, it was as stable as it has ever been. But then after I left, and
I remember this.
a lot of
Yeah.
things kept changing and changing and changing. I can't even imagine
Yeah.
like how confusing and confounding that must be, not just for the kids, but also for the parents.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
Because like that's also kind of like what happened to Nadiem Makarim because like if you've seen like the sentiment towards his like I wouldn't say imprisonment. What is it like? How would you say it? He's made
Arrest.
his arrest basically for like the
His
embezzle.
investigations into him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the embezzlement case. I thought people, because from the outside at that point when he was in office, I was already like in college. So
Yeah.
it didn't affect me, but like I thought people were like really into him.
Yeah.
They feel like, because he's like it's like a real technocrat, you know what I mean? But apparently
Yeah.
like parents hated him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Parents
so I've
did
heard,
not like Nadiem Makarim because they talked a lot about like how it was so absolutely confusing to have all the changes being implemented so fast and with
Yeah.
so little
Yeah.
kind of like preparation. So that was like
Yeah. It's also like, yeah, because like, so all right, spoiler alert, or like lore reveal. My mom's a teacher. All right, and she's worked in teacher for like what, nearly 20 years at this point, I think. And that's one of the things that she did get to talk about as well, because my school, she taught at the school that I went to, different departments, so I never had to be like but I also had that little bit of like teacher's pet, but also like uh, actual son of the teacher reputation. That
yeah.
was a bit, yeah. And then she did a lot of like teaching, but she also did a lot of like, towards the end she no longer like directly taught, she like managed curriculum. She was in like curriculum coordinator,
Okay.
because like if you don't know how difficult it is to like design a curriculum so that if you're learning this in like year one, it has to be able to like pay off all the way to like year 6, right? And if the government is changing it mid-term, like, sure, I think at this point like the government changes it like annually, but even then you're being like, okay, the school has like, oh, we're prepping your students to do this, and then 2 years down the line everything that they learned their first year no longer counts because it's been shifted entirely. That's fucking annoying. That would drive people
Yeah.
nuts. Yeah.
It's crazy. Exactly. And that's like the why like public schools can be so, it's kind of a big gamble
Yeah.
for like
Yeah,
parents.
yeah.
And that's why like now that I'm like an adult and like I think about, oh, what if I have kids? Like I would like 0% put them in public school because of all that nonsense that they have to deal with. And like not this is not on the teachers again, because like
Yeah.
they're already like
They're just workers.
they're just like
Yeah.
they're having a tough time as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just systematically, it's such a like not a good system for the students, nor the teachers, nor the parents. You know what I mean?
It's very political, isn't it?
So political.
It's so
It's because the
entrenched.
teachers are also ISN.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And it's so entrenched within the executive branch that the fact that Nadiem Makarim was able to just say
Do whatever the fuck you wanted.
Yeah.
do basically whatever he wanted with the system
Yeah.
without really there being much oversight
No, yeah.
shows a lot about the integrity of our
Yeah.
of our system of governance.
I think that the thing, if we're still going to talk a little bit more about Nadia Karim, is like, I think in addition to like, obviously there are no such thing as like safeguards to Indonesian like governance.
Not really,
There's
no.
no good governance in Indonesia. There's just governance.
Yeah.
No, but I think in addition to like, obviously like the way that the Indonesian bureaucracy works is bad for like stopping abuses of power. Nadiem Karim's problem was also that he was like that technocrat, right? But it wasn't just a technocrat; he was like a tech billionaire at
A
this
tech
point.
bro.
Yeah, tech bro, and everyone was like sucking the dicks of tech bro. Like you got like Mark Zuckerberg giving TED talks, and Elon Musk was like still launching rockets, and everyone loved him.
That was the peak of tech
Yeah,
broism,
yeah. It was
bro.
like in 2015 to like 2018. Everyone was like, there was like whatever, like it was like Silicon Valley could never go wrong, bro. Silicon Valley was going to bring us into the future, and so when Nadiem Makarim was just basically like tinkering with like students plans and like students curriculums on the fly and just like move fast and break things, kind of like
Move
Silicon
fast and
Valley
break
approach.
Hyper innovate the
Hyper-
hell
yeah,
out of
hyper
everything.
innovation.
Hyper
Hyper
experiment.
experiment
the
the
hell
hell
out
out
of
of
everything.
everything
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah, and like with my kids, man, dog, go the fuck home. Get the fuck out of here, right?
Honestly, like that was so such a gamble to put it in public school because like so many things can happen that there's
Yeah.
no like
Yeah.
standard or certainty of what exactly is gonna come out of there.
Yeah.
And then a new president comes in and he's like, I want this. I want that. I
The new
want
president
new
gonna be like,
boarding
y'all gonna eat
schools."
this. And
Yeah.
what? 10,000 people get poisoned.
Yep,
like, I don't think-
11,000 people now.
11
More than
people.
11,000.
11,000.
Yeah.
11,000
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, because I wanna kind of tie it into
my
that
God.
because there's a whole lot of issues with like the youth. You know, as, when I say the youth, I don't mean like us. I mean like.
Are you
I'm
saying the problem are the kids?
the kids? These damn
These
kids.
damn kids.
These
The kids are the problem.
Kids these days.
Kids these days.
Kids these days.
The youth. But I'm talking about kids specifically, as in like children.
Hey, man.
I'm
They're just kids, bro. All
Yeah.
right. What do they ever do?
I'm losing my train of thought right now.
What
I
are you gonna
swear to
say? What are you
God.
gonna say?
What was I gonna say? God damn it.
Oh, I've lost him. Oh, no.
Yeah, but anyway, as what I'm talking about is like, there's lots of like, our current president, the whole like platform that he was banking on was, I want to solve stunting, because stunting leads
Yeah,
to
that
this
is
and leads to
fucking
that
funny.
and leads to this,
Yep,
and eventually leads to our people being not only malnourished but like SDM rendah and everyone's dumb and we can't do nothing.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I'm gonna do to fix it? I'm gonna give them free lunches. And you
Yeah.
know what those free lunches are gonna do? They're gonna give me diarrhea.
Yeah.
We're gonna give like 10,000 people dysentery.
And not only that, they're instead of giving them to mothers who would actually, use them to actually combat stunting.
Exactly, right.
It went to kids who were already out of the womb.
Exactly.
That's honestly,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
You
Instead
know?
of fixing the huge problem of how fucking expensive baby formula is in this country,
Yep.
the fact that they're like I don't know what it's like in other countries, but in Indonesia, when I pass the baby formula aisle, they have fucking padlocks on that shit. It's like behind glass, locked in, and being like, okay, this is a problem.
It's actually wild that, it's not only that the solution is like completely misreading like the actual like need, but it's not even implemented properly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because if I recall correctly, during the campaign, it was like, we're gonna give this to like mothers, and like, how is that actually going?
Yeah. No, it's only in schools.
It's only in schools, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that wasn't like
Yeah,
what
they
he said
ran out of
initially.
money before they could actually ever expand into anything, right?
No, they haven't used their budget. They only use the portion of their budget. You're gonna be editing this. You'll need to figure out how much it is. I wrote it down. It's in one of my ILW videos. But basically, they haven't used up the entirety of their budget for this year, and it's already November. I think it's about like. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do apologize if I'm wrong, but it's more than a third of their budget is still completely unused.
Why?
I don't fucking know.
I thought you were gonna give me
Yeah.
some killer insight, bro. So
No,
you're
I
sa-
genuinely have no idea. I don't know.
Where is it going?
So they have a set amount of have a set budget, and
Yep.
basically they report that only a third of that budget has been used.
No. At least a third hasn't been used.
Oh, that
a
hasn't
third of
been
it is
used?
still left.
At
with
least,
only 1
at
month.
least.
Yeah, with only 1 month left in the year.
At least.
Wow.
And I could be wrong. It could be the other way around.
Okay.
So I'll need to double check.
Basically,
but
the
yeah.
numbers are numbering.
The numbers aren't numbering.
Okay,
yeah.
I wonder where it went.
I wonder where it went.
Nobody could have known.
At best, it's probably just sitting in the bank, like doing nothing.
Hey, you
That
know what?
works.
I love that. That's the best case
Yeah.
scenario. The best case that the money
Is
It's
doing
doing
is
nothing.
idle.
it has been like improperly stored or funded.
Hey,
That's
man.
the best case scenario.
the
Efficient-
bills are
efficient governance.
mothballed.
What?
The bills are mothballing.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Efficient governance, bro.
Really
Trump could
efficient.
never.
It's crazy. It's insane.
He wished he could have saved 1/3 of however much rupiah it is.
Yeah. And
Department of Government Efficiency. Who?
the fact that it's had such a massive impact on other parts of the government as well. A lot of government ministries and government bodies and government agencies have had their budgets cut, and a lot of the funds that would usually go to regions for regional development also got sliced apart.
Is it like what APBN or
The nasuntikan untuk there's a specific word for it. I forgot, but basically it's the funds injected into provinces and regions for
Oh, okay.
operations and whatnot, whatever.
And
Yeah,
instead it's
for
being funneled
programs.
into like this program.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is a very very worrying trend that like even back then under Jokowi is like a weird worrying trend, and this is not just in education.
What is?
And I don't want to get on this because it's a long. We're gonna save this can of worms for next time. But like the worrying trend is always like the government is always trying to centralize everything. So instead of like having it funded into like daerah, and that's the same way with like the selection of gubernurs and mayors, for example. That's also the very same trend. It's just like the government right now is super obsessed that like anything that is going to happen in this country needs to run through like the central
Yeah.
executive branch, has to run through Jakarta, right?
Wait.
Which I think harkens back to like I don't know. Satya, I can't seem to remember this. There's this period, like this order we used to have.
Is it the medium order? No, that's not right. No,
I remember it was pretty new at the time. I
Right,
can't remember
yeah.
the name.
the beginning order. That's
The
it.
beginning
Yeah,
order.
the beginning order.
The fresh order.
The Fresh Prince of Bel Order. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. Blue Monday.
Blue Monday. Yeah. No, and that goes back to schools as well, because everything has to go through the central government, and so the central government sees everything with kind of like a one size fits all lens.
Yeah,
especially
that's horrible.
especially the leaders of the government.
Yeah.
the key decision makers, not the ones,
Yeah.
not the actual civil servants working,
Yeah.
because they from my experience and from my discussions with them, they seem to really understand more about what's going on.
Yeah.
But the decision makers are the ones who think, okay, this seems to work for this region. Let's just apply it to every single region.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work
Actually,
that way.
yeah.
And schools and it works with the same way with schools as well. You cannot teach someone in Jakarta, for example, the same lessons that you teach someone in Papua, for example.
Yeah.
You cannot approach you cannot approach schooling and lessons, if you will, and communication with a kid who was born and raised in Jakarta their whole life than you would a person who was, who feels themselves to be more associated with Kalimantan.
Yeah.
It's
It's just
interesting.
the cultures are completely different, first of all.
Yeah.
And secondly, they're similar in many ways, but they're also really different. And secondly, just the entire way that you've grown, like the entire history of your life, has created you to become a certain way.
Sure.
Yep.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And so so sometimes the things that cultural things that may appear or that may be happening in, say, Jakarta, for example, it just isn't applicable anywhere else. And that's just one example. Imagine the other parts
Yeah.
of
I think
the school of the
Yeah.
scholarly bureaucracy.
that's true. No, I think that touches upon something that I actually did want to raise, is that like, and this is the stuff that I was like, I wrote it down in my notes because I was like just doing a bunch of reading on this last night, and it was like, yeah, we do, and I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna get on my soapbox again. It seems that capitalism is to blame. No, but like I think that approach of like that one size fits all approach is something that like, and it's not just a uniquely Indonesian problem, it's a uniquely education everywhere problem, because that one size fits all approach was sort of being like, education was initially only considered necessary when certain people figured out that it was better for like the workforce and factory workers to be slightly educated so that they don't have to expend money on doing like training, right? And this was what way back in like the 1800s, right? And, like,
Interesting.
yeah, like on the British side and the American industrial side, they were like, hey, it's expensive to have to onboard employees. What if we make the government make it mandatory for everyone to go to school so that when people come into our factories, we don't have to teach them math. They're already like ready built, right?
Yeah.
And that like that approach. And of course, like there's also like this like, I can't remember, like this like German guy who also be like, you know what, in addition to making them great for the factories, we should also make them understand why the nation is so great and why the state is so great. And so after like the 1800s, school just became this thing like, we need you to get you like the bare minimum ready to start working.
Yeah.
And so, and I think that's unfortunately, even the way that Prabowo talks about like SDM rendah, right? It's very, very much, it's always like, even the words
Okay.
SDM is very, very
It's
much
true. It's
positioned
true.
being like, hey guys, we're not
Right.
competitive enough, right?
Yeah, yeah.
No one wants to hire us. No one's actually
Right,
considering
right.
being like, hey, are these kids gonna be okay by the
Yeah,
time they're
yeah.
18?
Yeah.
Like the
Right?
angle is always kind of like, how
Yeah.
do we make them productive little cogs?
Exactly,
in the
right?
machine?
You want them to go to good colleges and get great jobs and raise like the
You know
like,
what?
raise the banner of Indonesia.
How do we
high.
exploit them to benefit the image of our?
Exactly.
You know what's
right?
funny is
Like-
that when you tell when you said that back then they were getting these people ready to have like skills that'll benefit them in the factory.
Yeah.
What skills do we give them now? Fucking like answering emails, bro. like
Honestly.
No,
these are gonna be the
Yeah,
greatest
exactly.
email makers in the world.
No, that's so funny because like I just know that there are high schools out there, especially like there are high schools out there that are teaching their kids how to like use AI.
No, it's true.
No, yeah.
Yep,
How to use AI.
100%.
And two, like because I don't know to be like education seminars or being like, yeah, this is how you build a resume, bro. And be like, oh my god.
Dude,
Yeah.
I can't.
This is kids. You gotta get on LinkedIn.
I can't even. I can. Oh
This
my
is how
goodness.
you write a good prompt on ChatGPT.
I'm actually like, thank God that I graduated
Yeah.
before the advent of like the worsening of social media and also fucking like the advent of AI.
Yeah,
ChatGPT,
yeah.
I would
yeah,
have
no,
lost my shit, boy.
Yeah.
You know, there's a term for it.
What?
Enshittification.
Are you talking about
Enshittification.
Dr. O?
No, just overall, like
Oh, okay, that book.
the enshittification. of-
education.
Yeah.
Everything just gets shittier.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Oh yeah, and like I'm on the same boat. Not that I'm going to forgive the things that my school did to me. Like not great, but at the same time being like, thank God I didn't have to like go to be like, okay guys, this Friday we're gonna have like dedicate half of the school day to like this AI seminar that we're gonna have at school. I mean like, oh my God. Especially, and this is worse in like private schools, right? Because private schools are always like dragging people from like private sector to being like, give a talk on this. Let's
Yeah,
have an
no, it's true.
education fair, and the education fair is just like a lineup of 30 universities from Australia, the UK, and the US, none of which I could afford.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's always like the AI, or sometimes you'd have like industry leaders come in and be like, AI is the future of the world.
yeah.
Why don't you do an undergraduate in programming or in software engineering
Clearly,
and
clearly
see where
it
that
didn't-
takes you?
Yeah,
Clearly, it didn't work on you.
No, clearly not. No.
Tech is the future, bro.
Tech is the future.
That's where you put your kids in these days.
I want to go
There's
to
no way the
transport
bubble is gonna pop in the next
design.
5 years.
It's a good thing I'm not working for any sort of tech-related journalistic organization.
And, not-
Yeah.
and nothing in Asia either.
Nothing in Asia, yeah.
I mean, tech in Asia, couldn't even imagine it, bro.
No.
Yeah.
My God.
Unfathomable.
And I can't imagine how it feels to be the teachers as well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about it. You have all of these kids who now have access to LLMs and GPTs.
Oh my god.
And you somehow have to, excuse me, you somehow have to be able to grade their work in such a way that reflects their actual capabilities and performance.
Yeah.
Not to say that process in itself is perfect. It's very
Yeah.
flawed.
Yeah.
But at least to some extent, it can, gauge their capabilities, right?
Yeah.
But now everything you need to do is you can pretty much do on ChatGPT. I will say though, ChatGPT isn't always accurate either. And and every
Hell
now and
no.
again. No, yeah, exactly.
Hallucinates all the goddamn
It,
time.
it actually really does, yeah.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't, even if you somehow get all the facts right, sometimes you can just tell when something is written by AI.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's just how a person writes.
Yeah.
And usually, AI believe it or not, the way that they learn how they write is through learning
Yeah.
how people
Right.
wrote.
Yeah.
People write,
Yeah.
and they're being grammatically correct. Artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
they're not wrong. But the fact that but the fact that they're so perfect
Yeah.
makes you feel like you have to dumb down what you write as well. And
Yeah, that's
I
true.
can imagine being a teacher being like, how do I know this is an AI? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I know yeah,
that's
go
just
ahead.
like on top of all the other shit that you already have to
Yeah,
deal with
exactly.
as a teacher. Like, hold on, how many people did you have in a single class?
Oh fuck.
I had 20. Yeah, it's for Indonesian standards, it's quite small, but for American standards, it's about the same size.
How about you then?
I think on average 12.
12.
Damn.
So,
That's a
yeah.
good,
What?
that's a good number.
Yeah, that's a good actually
12 students per class.
I
12 students
had
per class.
in
Yeah,
in my
so-
classes
yeah.
in my classes probably at sometimes like 30.
yeah,
30
30 or
plus.
40. Yeah, I know
30
that's the
plus.
standard now. Yeah.
Absolutely nuts, bro.
Yeah. I actually like my mom actually said this to me once when we were talking about like, oh yeah, well, what's design in school classroom, right? And then her experience as a teacher has taught her that like 12 is actually the ideal size, because here's the thing, right? And this is the thing that Nadi Makarim is going to hate: education, especially good education, doesn't scale.
Shit.
It does. It just.
I was
you can
investing
never
all my
s-
money.
Yeah, education.
Can you explain what that means?
So like in tech, right? And because tech is so powerful in the last 10 years, that's the way that everyone is thinking, is like people love things that scale, right? If you can do it on a small
Like, it just keeps
scale,
getting bigger.
you can like make it bigger, make it bigger, make it bigger, right? And like there's a sort of like this exponential growth mindset that like a lot of like the world has like uh been infected with because of like the Silicon Valley boom and everything. And so people are always being like, if we can do this at a small scale, right? Like, how can we make this bigger, right? And education is one of those things where like the simple act of education itself, like teaching someone and mentoring someone, monitoring what they do, giving them the correct feedback, making sure they also have like the freedom as well to sort of the agency and the freedom to like choose what they want to do. That will never be able to scale, because that's a human interaction that can only be done when you are in front of someone and one-on-one and you're not distracted by like 40 other kids, right? That's actually one of the reasons like my parents took me out of like that like public school elementary that I went to, when they like, because like they figured out I had ADHD, and they were like, this kid is not going to survive.
Yeah,
When-
he needs more concentration.
Yeah, 'cause-
or more
'cause-
focused by his teacher, right?
Exactly. Like my mom, I don't remember this even, but like my mom and dad would all the time be like, yeah, we would like see your like your homeroom teacher, and she would be like a 55-year-old woman taking care of like a 35 kid class.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Of course she's not gonna like lack on to like your special needs and being, so we're gonna put you in a school, because the thing is like, okay, 12 was the average that I get. When I graduated, there were 15 people in my class. The entire graduating class was 28 people. There was-
What?
yeah, the entire graduating grade, my angkatan was 28 people. And then my
like-
class was like 15 people. And when I was, the average was 12. But when I started in like third grade, when like this was just literally a school that was being built in like the back of someone's house, my grade was 4 people. My
That's
grade was 4
insane,
people.
man.
But then I'm grateful for that, because like I like having ADHD is, I think it's like at its worst when you're like between 7 and like 12 years
Yeah,
old. That is
yeah.
the absolute hellish time, because like no one knows what it is. You don't know what it is. Your hormones haven't kicked in to the point where like you can like start regulating yourself better. And also and also it's very, very common for people to think that like, oh, kids at the age of 7 and 8 are just like the shittiest like age of kids, right?
Or
Like,
at worst, they're just like, he's a fucking idiot.
yeah, exactly.
You
Right?
know?
Yeah.
Which
He's an
happens a
idiot.
lot,
He's
yeah.
he's like the problem child,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's very, very easy for you to fall through like the cracks, and like you can't scale education, because like it's, if in order for you to like make sure that the kid gets the best care that they possibly could, you it needs to be small, and the teacher needs to be able to like pay attention and like be able to like really like read you. And like once it's like more than like 10 kids a class, I think it's gone. It's just like the for the teacher, the kid just becomes a name on a list, and then that's
Oh
nothing
yeah.
towards the teacher, right? Like what's the really famous saying, like it takes a village to like raise a kid?
Yeah.
And it does.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's so much like that goes into like raising a person that you can't just like, that doesn't scale. You can't be I remember 3 years ago being like, you know what's gonna happen? We're gonna have AI teacher kids. In the next 10 years, we're gonna have like AI teacher kids, right?
Yeah, but it just
Like,
doesn't work. They need the
doesn't.
human
Like
interaction.
it can't. AI can't care about a kid.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. You know.
There's enough. There's enough kids with problems that are falling through the cracks of the system as it is. Like, and now you're going to introduce a machine that does not care about kids. It
Yeah.
can never like.
So basically, like what you're saying is that, in essence, teachers need to get paid more,
Yes.
and there needs to be less kids in the class.
Yes.
Not only does there need to be less kids in
Yeah.
the class, there also needs to be more teachers.
Yeah, more
Exactly.
teachers
Right.
that are better paid and
Yes.
better in, because like you need to have incentive for people to want to be, to be teachers.
Yeah.
And when the situation is as shitty as it is,
Yeah.
like you're not going to attract people who are willing educators
Yeah.
who want to. Not saying that like right now there aren't, because
Yeah.
amazingly in this absolutely messed up like
Yeah.
system, there are still like good, honest to God,
Yeah,
like
100%.
educators who
Yeah.
who put their life on the line
Yeah.
to try and actually like make these kids better, smarter.
Yeah.
Actually like
Make
kind
sure
of like
these are okay.
yeah, just like
Say the list, right?
it's like salute to those teachers
hey,
that actually like
the real heroes.
Yeah.
are willing to want to put themselves through all that.
Yeah.
You were gonna say something?
Let's put some numbers to it. My phone isn't really working very well. Can you Google how many students, how many primary, secondary, and high school students there are in Indonesia? And can you Google how many teachers there are in Indonesia?
We're
Just
going
real
to
quick.
have like a
Yeah.
thing
Just-
here.
Just a quick
Yeah.
little calculation.
Statistik jumlah siswa
The Indonesia, yeah.
di Indonesia.
Okay,
Oh,
and keeping in
man.
mind as well that definitely discounts the number of kids who aren't in school as well.
Okay, well, it looks like, and bear in mind, this is Google's AI overview.
Thank you, Gemini.
Pada tahun ajaran, so in the 2024-2025 year, there are 52.9, basically 53 million students in Indonesia.
Okay, that means let's say the optimum number is 12, but let's give them a little leeway as well. Let's say okay, maybe 12 is too optimistic of a number. Let's give them 15 instead. Divided by 15. There should be 3.5 mil. There should be at least 3.5 million teachers that work in Indonesia.
How
many
many
teachers
teachers?
are there in Indonesia?
The problem is like I'm not using AI, so I'm only getting like the data per from like SD, SMP is a different list and stuff like that. But okay, right now this is just for elementary school kids, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Negeri plus swasta, so private and public.
Okay,
The total is just a little under 24 million.
24 million teachers.
I think so. Oh no, sorry. Sorry, it's a little over 24.
24
sorry. I'm
crazy,
so
bro.
I'm so sorry. Sorry, 1.6 million teachers.
Yeah, I'm getting the
1.6
same.
million teachers.
That's like 1.6 is the ASN, as in like the ones
Yeah.
who are like, was it registered as like civil servant? They have a
Interesting.
civil servant status, but there are also non-civil servant teachers.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
like, the number is
Yeah.
around 3 million.
Around 3 million.
Like what's that? Like it's like 10% of what we need.
No, we need 3 million teachers. We need 3.5 million teachers.
Yeah.
3.5 million.
So we're almost there.
Almost there.
We're almost there.
I feel like our math
Yeah, I
is
feel like
mathing
this-
right
something's
now.
not
Our
right.
math isn't mathing right now. This is why
Anyway,
we use AI.
you just needs more research.
You saw a live demonstration of us failing at math.
Yep.
See, this is what I'm saying. Public education has failed me,
We're screwed. We are
Lamau.
so screwed.
and that's before AI.
Yeah.
I was the non-AI generation, and look at me. Look at me.
Yeah.
Unemployed.
Yeah. No, it's okay, man. We are employed. We're employed for
We are
totally normal
employed
folks.
for your viewing pleasure.
Please give us money.
Anyway,
Hey,
yes, please.
let's pivot this slightly. I don't know how much time we
Okay.
have left, but I'm gonna pivot
We
this slightly.
are. This is run for an hour,
Hour
and 30 minutes.
Let's continue.
Okay. I'm gonna pivot this slightly because I know you wanted to talk about some stuff. We didn't get to talk about all that much, right? But I'm gonna open this can of worms because this is one of the questions you pitched. One of the reasons why I think one of the reasons why I think smaller students numbers or well, less teachers. Sorry, god damn it! I'm gonna repeat this a little bit, right? I'm trying to make this a smooth segue.
This
I'm
is the
failing.
classical Christian education network.
Ah!
It's doing you well.
Yeah, exactly, right? Anyways, I think one of the reasons why my parents put me in a smaller school where like there are less students that teachers have to take care of, I think was the other was problem because I think they were just slowly locking. They hadn't quite gotten it yet, and I haven't quite gotten it yet, but they were slowly picking up on the fact that I was quite heavily bullied in school because hey, kid with ADHD, probably autism as well, doesn't speak Indonesian very well.
Yep.
Kind of more on the rotund side. Bro, I was like, bro, I was doing like, I got like the oppression Olympics on right now. I'd be like, that kid, that kid, torch that kid, you know? And so, yeah, I think one of the other like, one of the things that you want to talk about was bullying, right?
Sure, yeah.
And I think one of the things of why bullying is so rampant, in addition to like all the other problems, is just that like the teachers are underpaid. So they don't have enough like maybe some of them just like aren't paid enough to care.
Yeah.
But I know that's not true because like I think a lot of teachers do care about their kids. Otherwise they wouldn't be like actual teachers. I think they just have too much like strain. Yeah, that they're not like things. Yeah. Not to also mention that like sometimes these are things that also, require I can't remember who, but I think I once saw this like post or like this article that advocated, but like I think in addition to like being like teachers, like I think teachers should also be trained as social workers as well, especially for like public school where you're going to be getting kids from all various backgrounds and you don't know how at risk they are to like different forms of like abuse, whether they're whatever kind of abuse there can be out there, right? Not to also mention that like maybe if these kids grew up poor, you're going to be like around like like more. I think what the politically correct term is like masyarakat rentan, right? Where
It's just I think it just goes to show that there's so much that goes into being a teacher.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Like you have to be a parent and an educator and a social worker and a therapist and like you gotta do everything because like it takes a village and like just one kid is hard enough and you're responsible for like 15, 30, fucking 50 kids at one time for like the majority of the day, and they're paid that little, especially in public schools.
$40 a month.
Like, hey, it's like someone with ice cream or something. But anyway, hey, here's a fucking idea. Like, if you're running the government and you're seeing this, pay them a little more. Actually, heck, pay them a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at whatever
at least
amount,
10 to 15 times what they're paying now. At least.
Yeah,
take the massive chunk of the 1/3 of unused money for.
No, I have a better idea. Bro. I have a better idea. Whatever money you've currently budgeted for whatever AI bullshit, right? Just give it to teachers. Just give it directly to them. No, okay, like all the billions and billions we're gonna send to like Nvidia or OpenAI or whatever bullshit we've decided to pay for this month. Just give it to the teachers. They'll love it. They'll love you. The students will love it.
So many political points for you.
But this is
you want to raise your fucking SDM, whatever, just take it out of the tech industry. Just give it to the fucking
dude.
Take it out of the free nutritious meals program. Put it into teachers.
We have such great ideas, you guys.
We really do.
But like no, actually
we should really be running for government.
Yeah, no, we should.
It's so simple. But like actually, all right, you guys might know more about this.
Go on.
Actually, these sound like pretty sound ideas, Get a big chunk of money that we most definitely have somewhere from all the taxpayers.
I think I know where this is going.
And then give to the teachers. if everyone's so hell bent on like doing this like SDM rendah, we gotta raise it up. Why does that not just happen? Why is like giving more money to public school teachers the hardest thing to do? It seems like.
Do we want to want to look at this from like a power dynamic perspective, or do we want to take a look at
There's
from
several
like a
ways
sort
to
of,
look
Why
about.
don't you do the
from a
power dynamic thing
resources.
first?
No, because
Sorry, when you say power dynamic, what do you mean?
political power.
Okay, go ahead.
So back in the day, I
Okay.
don't know if you know about this. We were colonized by a small company
What?
called
Oh,
the
no.
VOC. I know, yeah. And basically, they alongside, and actually, a lot of people don't really like to acknowledge this,
Mm-hmm.
but there were leaders, local leaders,
Local leaders.
Oh.
who colluded with the Dutch East India Company
Ah.
to
Say it ain't
exploit
so, bro. Bro, say it ain't
Say
so.
it ain't so.
to exploit to
Yeah.
exploit the workers, to exploit the everyday people.
It
Yeah.
it be your own brothers.
They really do
It
be your own brothers, man.
It be your own.
And one of the things that they did and I'm very much oversimplifying this, but one of the things that they designed within the society that was to be Indonesia in the future was create a sort of case system.
Yeah.
And the case system, and basically how the case system worked was that very, very basically, at least from an education perspective, is that the very lower the lowest end of the case, which, correct me if I'm wrong,
Go ahead.
but it's pure blood Indonesians,
Yeah.
or the people who would live in what is now Indonesia. I'll just call it Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the kind of like middle ground.
Right. So
Uh,
the Chinese.
I was gonna say non-Indonesians in Indonesia, as well as half Indonesians, and then there would be the white people, basically. And they basically were given different levels of education. The pure blood white people were given were given European education. The middle kind of class was given a sort of hybrid, if I'm not mistaken, Daniel, or please correct me if I'm wrong, or is it just very basic?
I'm not too familiar with this.
We'll put in, if this is a clip, we'll
Yep.
put in like a small disclaimer.
A small diagram and a
Yeah.
small disclaimer and a
Or
small
we could just,
diagram as well.
Have a little asterisk and put the correct information here. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. And the sort of bottom of the ladder received pretty much no education. And we sort of after a certain point, the Dutch kind of realized they fucked up
Yeah.
and they tried to fix it, but they kind of didn't really want Indonesians to get that good.
Yeah.
So they kind of they sort of kept the level of the complexity of the education, or the modernness of this education, if you will, somewhat below standard,
Yeah.
just to keep us a little dumber than
Make them a little dumb.
make them a little dumb,
Yeah.
just so that they don't plan a revolution or anything.
Hey, just
That
enough that
went
we
really
can
well,
they
by
can
the
work
way.
the fields for us, but not enough that they get
Sounds like a foolproof plan.
Ju-
yeah,
Just
but
enough.
not enough that they get a political consciousness.
Yep.
Surely, surely no country would ever be birthed from this.
I cannot imagine how.
That's why we're living in the Dutch East Indies.
All my bros hate DI, the Dutch
Yeah,
East
bro.
Indies.
Oh man. No, anyway, and we inherited that, and by the time the Dutch left, and we somehow gained independence,
Somehow.
we inherited that education system,
Right.
Yeah.
and it hasn't really evolved much.
Mixed
to
in a
this
little
day.
bit with what the Japanese left us for
Yep.
what Middle
Like
East we had that.
I think in fact, now that you're describing that historical precedence, it seems like we've kind of copied it to a T. Only, once again, it is class based.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what you're talking about, man. I went to an international school.
Motherfucker, you was wrong.
How
Yeah.
interesting, bro. How interesting. I wouldn't know what he's talking about either.
Yeah,
I
honestly.
went to a national plus school.
I know, it's crazy.
I'm that lower caste right now. I'm good.
No, yeah, but I think
They kept me dumb, bro. They kept me from my full potential.
no, yeah, but I think
I
that
could have been employed.
no, yeah, but I think that's definitely been employed. Like not only in the sort of like the I don't know, just like the categorization of like international school, national plus, and like national public.
It's
schools.
very interesting, isn't it?
But
How it's
even-
carried over. To
Yeah,
an
but
extent.
even within, because I know even within the national school ranks, even the public school ranks, there's still like casta.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I know like you know, like I don't know what it's like in Jakarta, but like in Bandung is also like, oh, you want to go to Bandung, you also want to go to like SMA 3.
Yeah, no,
Or like
no.
SMA 4. That's the tier, that's the king shit. You know, that's the S tier
We had
public school.
we had that too. We had
Yeah.
that too in Bali,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, SMA Negeri 1 Tabanan, where I was. That's the best school.
Also, you went to the best
I
school.
went to the
Wait,
best
wait,
school.
whoa.
They failed to
Crazy
keep me
shit.
dumb, bro. I was educated. But like the thing is, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a test to get there.
Yeah.
So the idea is that the school isn't good because like the teachers and the support system and everything there allows for children to be better than they are. They
Yeah.
just have all the good students to begin with.
Yeah, no,
They just
that's
have
true.
all the smart students to begin with. So like just by surrounding yourself with smart
Just by
students.
association, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, and that's what's crazy to me. Like back then, like my parents would be like, oh, you know, like we gotta, they gotta make sure like, you know, they, they have tests, proper
Yeah.
tests so that only the smart kids can go to this smart school because we don't want the dumb kids in this school because then they'll contaminate the rest of the kids. But like, that's
Yeah.
what the school is for.
Yeah. Okay, here's an
The
interesting
school
thing,
is, that's
right?
what you're supposed to do. You're
Yeah,
supposed to make
yeah,
a dumb,
yeah.
You're supposed to make a dumb kid
No,
smart, man.
So I've become so much smarter by being dumb around smart people.
No,
and other
100%,
people have also
100%.
learned so many things from me just by when they would just say dumb shit and be like, hey bro, that's not how that works. They'd be like, oh really? And that just
Yeah.
kind of like intermingles the space, which is so interesting because I wanted like, because we were talking about like the I don't know what do you want to call this?
I'm just saying that
The case
the
system.
stratification. I think
The
stratification.
stratification.
No,
I was
because
gonna
here's
say, yeah,
this is
yeah.
my other big thing, right? Because like I went to a national plus, basically a private international school, and I went to an Indonesian public school, and this is one of my biggest beefs when I was in the public school system, right? And I don't know if you experienced it, but I'm pretty sure you experienced it because you went to a public school. Like, bro. Okay, I'm sorry. What the fuck is ranking class? I am
Swear.
going to like
Swear.
I like there is a
you've unlocked.
Swear.
like look, nothing
that's
says
just not
more about the fact that you've been colonized, that you've stratificated society. Nothing says that you need like to be like to live in an egalitarian anarchist world more than when you arrive at a school as an 11-year-old and there's a big list of shame in front of your class
Yep,
where they're like,
yep.
these are the smart
hold on.
students, and
Hold on,
all
hold
the
on.
way down at the bottom of the list, like fourth from the bottom is your name. You're like,
Wait, hold on.
you're a motherfucking
Yo.
dog.
Yeah.
You guys didn't have ranking class?
No.
Like you
I-
have
I was-
you have a homeroom, right?
We had a homeroom.
Yeah.
We were. I was like, as I mentioned, I was privileged enough
Yeah, international school.
not to have a ranking system.
So there
at
was
all.
no ranking in the homeroom,
There was only ever like student awards, but that was like end of the year, like
and
highest score.
it's only just like these
Best
are the
student,
these are
yeah.
the best students.
Literally,
basically.
just-
not
literally,
like not like these are like objectively ranked the worst students. In
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Thank you for bringing that up because
Yeah,
that unlocked something in me.
Yeah,
Because like
Do share.
That
that
is-
is
basically, okay, if you didn't go to a public school, how it works is that at the end of every semester, the entire class, as in like the homeroom class, like 1 to 30 or something, they are ranked based on like your academic performance. So everyone knows, and their teacher knows, other student knows,
their parents know.
their parents know in their report card that they are like ranked 28th in the class. You're like the second, like the
Dumbest
second
person.
dumbest person in the
Yeah,
class.
basically.
Which is like back then I was like, I was like, oh man, okay, I gotta work harder then.
Yeah.
But like, it's so crazy to think about because like,
Yeah.
what does that do to like a kid's like
Yeah,
like
man.
Yeah.
like you dumbass.
Yeah, no, but not just
You're
that,
a
but
fucking
even
idiot.
no, but and if we're gonna go back to the stratification thing, even as like if you're a good performing student, I don't like. Maybe this is why we have a problem with class consciousness. You can only measure how good you are when you are above someone else. When you're
Yeah.
standing on someone else who's dumber or
Yep.
poorer
No,
or more problematic as
100%,
you are,
100%.
right? Right.
And let me
that's just being like
let me tell y'all.
thriving on the shame of other people is a fucked way to exist.
Let me tell you, bro. Let me tell you. Those like number one ranked motherfuckers, I hate those.
Yeah.
No,
They're
yeah,
such
yeah.
stuck up.
Yeah.
I hate you. If you were number one, if you were number one in class, I hate you. Like they were so stuck up. Like these are the type of guys who would like never share like their homework,
Yeah.
never share like test answers.
Bro, they were union
Yeah, yeah.
busting us in fucking
It's insane.
sixth
It's
grade.
insane.
They look
It's
down.
insane.
They're like, stay down there, you filthy animal.
I've never had to experience that. Like not wanting to share your notes is wild.
It's wild. It's wild.
I understand if you're cheating on a test and you don't want to get caught, so you don't answer you don't share your cheat sheet. That's fine because some people out there they be dumb and they be snitching. But not wanting to share your notes before like a test, it's
So wild.
fucking insane.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say not only is it insane, it is fundamentally un-Indonesian. It is un-Indonesian.
Let's hear it, bro. Let's hear it.
Borderline unconstitutional. Think about it this way, yeah?
They should be jailed.
We have a very strong, supposedly very strong culture of gotong royong, which
Gotong
means
royong, bro.
helping
Gotong
out
royong.
everyone around us, helping out the poor, helping out the needy,
Yeah.
helping out the vulnerable, yeah? But when these rankings come up on the board, it's every fucking man for himself,
It's like,
isn't
kiss
it?
my shoes, bitch.
Yeah. You ain't taking my fucking notes. They're all for me. You can go rot in hell. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
You can
yeah.
go eat shit. But that goes against our very norms of like we say we pride ourselves
Yeah.
in gotong royong. We say we pride ourselves in helping the needy and helping the vulnerable and ensuring that everyone, succeeds. And we are so proud of saying that every time we stand in front of white people.
Yeah.
And at the same
And for
time,
white people or like non-Indonesians who don't understand what gotong royong means, it's basically like I think the sentiment is like, yeah, like we lift each other up. I think that's the thing.
Exactly.
That's the sentiment, right? That's the yeah. go ahead.
At the
exactly.
same time, what?
At the same time, we have this entire stupid ranking system in our schools in which we're taught while we're still a sponge,
Yeah.
where we, kind of take in social cues, right? And we're like,
Yeah.
oh, if I'm ranked higher than you, that means
Yeah.
you're a moron and I'm better than you.
Yeah.
No,
but
and
like-
that does
Yeah.
nothing. In fact, it is. I would say it's unconstitutional. I would say it's
Yeah.
un-Indonesian,
Yes.
and it needs to be eradicated. And I will see you in court.
Are you finding out this newfound like rage and anger over something you didn't know of like 5 minutes ago?
I don't know what you're talking about. I went to an international school.
No, I did have to experience, and the funny thing is because my family moved a lot when I was young, so I sometimes I got moved into like a public school for a year, and then back to like the school that I was in, and then like my dad would get sent to like go mine oil somewhere else, and I had to go to public school there, and so I did that for a couple of times, and bro, like the stark difference between like the private education and the public education being like, oh my god, get me out of here.
That was like a strata that I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
Because there were no like major international private schools where I lived in Bali.
really.
Yeah.
Really?
No,
Oh.
sorry. The region that I live in.
Oh,
Tabanan.
okay, yeah, okay.
Nothing that
see.
I could have like actually seen because all that we could compare ourselves to was like the other public high schools and also
Yeah.
SMK or like vocational schools, which
Got
which they're like whatever, at that point. So
Yeah.
it's like it's nuts that with that ranking system, basically what I saw is that there's just a lot of kids that have already been automatically labeled dumb and they're kids labeled smart. And the dumb kids, they're just kind of like reinforced with that belief, like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm dumb, so I guess I'm not gonna do anything. I guess,
Yeah.
I'll just stay dumb. Like that's everyone's calling me dumb, so I guess that's what I am. You know,
And that's so sad, isn't it? Because
it's so sad.
Depressing.
I've talked to so many people throughout See today, in the field, and these people are some of the most unassuming, and they're so fucking talented in their own ways. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
you can tell, and it just like you can tell, like, if they had the support, if they were given the support they needed to be able to develop these skills and develop these talents, then they would be in a completely different place than they are now.
Yeah, I mean,
You know
like,
what I mean?
I know what you
Yeah.
mean, because we work with a lot of like talented folk during our time in City on the news team.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, especially like the really talented like technical people,
Yep.
they are not always the best student academically.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I would say us, we are the
No, I was a fucking idiot in school, man. Yeah.
No, yeah. Thank God my school did not have ranking, because like when I did go to school, the ranking, I was always being like bottom half,
Yeah.
bottom half.
No, but you were saying, sorry?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like they're not they're not people who like perform the best academically from like what the stories that they told us.
Yeah.
But like they clearly have technical capabilities and talents and like proficiency in a whole lot of other things, and I think that's just
Yeah.
what it's a miracle that they were able to find that and foster that after the fact. But I feel like there's just so many other like people who had that potential, but it was just like squashed away. Just like
Exactly.
it's like,
No,
nah,
yeah.
you're good for nothing. Like you're
Yeah.
30th of the class. So what hope do you have? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just, and it's crazy. So
Yeah.
how
What
so
do
many
you
of-
hope to become with those
Yeah.
grades, And I'm
And-
like, fuck, man.
Given that, how are you not surprised that our country, like in our country, the majority of us are not formally employed, and
Yeah.
according to the World Bank, at least 60% of us are, in poverty.
Sometimes and sometimes so I'm still stuck on the ranking thing. Sometimes like, yeah, but like what if like the difference between like person ranking number 1 and ranking number 2 is just like a decimal point, And the difference between like person like, because like what if all your students are relatively well performing, but the difference
That's a
between-
really good point.
yeah, but the difference between person 8 and person 16 is like
Yeah.
literally like half a point, because they're all averagely the same.
That's just the grind set, bro. the number one guy. That's why he keeps all his notes, because he knows the decimal points are what's
No, yeah, that's
what
exactly
makes it.
like what are we what are these kids gonna come away with when you're like, maybe you're not taught that, but the daily reality is that like oh, I get my worth when I'm standing on top of someone else.
No fucking wonder all of our goddamn politicians are such toxic, narcissistic bastards.
No, yeah, but also remember the jobs episode when we're like, oh yeah, there's a certain class of like middle class, relatively wealthy, employed working class people kind of be like, oh, why are you blocking up the roads? Maybe it's also that mentality as well.
yeah.
I'll be like, bro,
Yeah.
give me back my notes. I'm not giving you my notes.
The mentality
kid.
carries all the way forward until you're fucking dead.
Yeah.
Unless either you've never learned it at all, or
Yeah.
or if you've managed to somehow unlearn it.
The disparity and stratification in modern Indian society starts at an early age.
Literally when you're like 5 years old.
It's true.
As we've come
It's so
to
true.
understand now, because like the stratification goes deep. It's not just there's like different levels of schools, but there's also within those schools other, like if it was public schools, several levels of public schools between good and bad. And even within those schools, there are good classes, bad classes, and in classes, there's the ranking system.
Yep.
So multiple levels of
Yeah.
like divide, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're teaching these kids that like power only like is effective when it's used vertically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's so like, God, no wonder we're fucked.
No, yeah. And not only that, I mean, I don't know how your testing system goes. I just know that it's all. I just know from my understanding that most of it is multiple choice.
Multiple choice, baby.
And that
Do
shit
y'all
does-
remember circling down these
Yep.
damn circles These damn circles,
I
bro.
That-
fucking remember.
that
I
shit does
remember. I remember
nothing.
going into the UN test having like 4 pencils, 2 erasers, and some kids would even bring like the ruler, like
with the little circles?
Yeah, and then the plastic ruler where you can just circle it. Damn, bro.
You have that international school kid?
See,
I had written tests. Yeah.
do you know what the fuck thing is? Because we were National Plus and they were trying to get us on the Christian classical education where it's like, yes, for your final exam, please write this essay on like why you think, I don't know, whatever, right? On like this essay. And simultaneously, a week after we would submit that in essay, we would have to walk in for the UN as well. So we had
Oh
2
my
final
wild, dude.
exams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild
And
shit.
they were like, that was wild. I had to turn in my 50-page like thesis, and then once that was done, I had to like walk in for like my 12th grade Ujian Nasional.
Man.
Fucking wild.
School, man. Like, yeah, the fucking,
They
like,
fucked us up.
the circling of the thing. I remember at one point, like, I only remembered after the fact that I used the wrong pencil.
Oh, no.
They-
You had to use
you
a
had to use 2B.
pencil.
2B pencil.
I
The 2B
I brought
pencil.
for whatever like dumbass
Was it
reason,
HB?
HB.
Oh.
But you know what?
That's it.
It didn't matter.
Yeah,
It didn't matter.
Lo and behold.
So I'm like, I guess it's all right then. But anyway, like,
Yeah.
I guess that's all to say that like this, initially the episode I envisioned like we're talking about specific cases, but I think we touched on like some really interesting topics, just like in the general like sense, seeing how stratified society is, even from like the lowest, the earliest, experiences that you can have in school, and how the people who are responsible in making that experience as good and as beneficial as possible for the kids don't always have the best interest in mind, or they just are not, equipped or not well compensated enough to be able to do that. So that was interesting. Like I want to go into like to end the episode on like a lighter note. Well, we'll play a little game, but like
let's
any
hear it.
closing thoughts?
Is
first?
it multiple choice?
No, that's not multiple choice. No. It can be, but like before we go into that, like maybe some closing thoughts, you guys.
We need to fix our schools because otherwise we are fucked.
Absolutely.
And I think and before we fix, we haven't touched on a lot of things. We haven't touched on bullying as much. We haven't touched on the role of, religious institutions.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
haven't touched on
Massive
we
stuff.
haven't touched on the role of the regional, the provincial government.
Yeah.
And we haven't touched on the role of, counselors and
There's so
even
much.
and even the relationship between parents and teachers.
Yeah.
There's
that's
so
much.
many things that we
Maybe
need to
we'll
touch
do a
on.
part 2.
Maybe we should, but
Maybe we do a part 2.
but it is such a systemic issue, and it'll make such a massive difference to the way that Indonesia, to the development path that Indonesia takes moving forward, and especially the leaders that are born out of the school system. And so if we don't fix it, we might end up with the same shit over and over and over and over and over again, and that's not good.
You know what the response from the government is that, bro?
What is that?
Another 10 trillion to MBG.
Send $10 trillion to MBK. Yeah.
Another 10 trillion. Insert the Patrick.
Depressing.
Okay.
I mean-
closing thoughts.
I think I was gonna say something close to what like Satya was saying, but then I'm gonna be like, you know what? If he's gonna send like if he's going to implore people to be like, this is what we need to fix. I'm going to like do a different take, which is sort of like to go reach out to you in the audience right now, and say that like I think a lot of us probably went to the school system and being like, damn, like it fucked me up. Like I wonder where it went wrong, or I wonder where I went wrong, that I was kind of like spat out the system. And I'm here to tell you, like, bro, it's not your fault, bro, sis, they, them, not your fault. Because I think like when you like realize that like one, it was like built to like stratify us by the Dutch.
Yep.
When you realize that like, oh, school used to be a thing so that like factory workers didn't have to like train their workers, so they made the government do it. You realize being like, it's kind of fucked. And if anything, it's kind of like a surprise that any of us like made it out.
It's a fucking miracle. Let's
It's a
be
fucking
honest.
miracle. Like, right, that you're that like whoever you are like are still like holding on to jobs, and you're still like an
Yeah.
okay person, and that you didn't like absolutely crash and burn. It's a fucking miracle. And like, yeah, just like,
Good examples are the exception.
yeah,
the exception.
I think so. Yeah,
They're really
and
not the norm.
And that's how you know a problem is systemic, when like,
Yeah.
oh, it's you remember the good ones, and you kind of like are just you have normalized most of the bad cases.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Insane.
Persevere, and you too can get out the mud like me. I'm now sitting here with two international kids. Look at me, you guys. I made it out the mud. I'm just kidding, you know. That wasn't the whole point of this.
You made it such a gung ho like.
Yeah, but anyway, let's end this on a little lighter note.
Sure.
Hidup Jokowi! And cut the camera.
Look, we talked a lot about schools, the schooling system, and everything, but
Yeah.
no, we haven't talked about.
What's that?
We haven't talked about the actual subjects themselves. I'm not going to like the mata pelajaran, the subjects.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. I gotta admit, this is a really half-baked kind of game. But
Oh, yeah, sure. Hit me with it, bro.
Yeah, I was thinking just like doing like a tier list or something. But
Ooh, let's do it.
yeah, but
Yeah. Tier list. Let's
do
go.
a tier list. Like let's give me like how about you guys? Like give me like top top 3 best, top 3 worst subjects. Or just list me like best or worst subjects.
This is very subjective, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And it's definitely like per individual experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
My top 3 subjects were English language and literature.
Mm.
Not only did I get to learn a lot of things about the English language and
Yeah.
English literature, I also had an amazing teacher, Ibu Greta. If you're watching, thank you. I would say another one was physics.
Whoa, really?
I really enjoyed
You
physics.
really enjoyed physics?
I didn't enjoy it. At first,
Yeah.
I wanted to. At first I chose physics because I thought I needed it for my degree, which I didn't end up using. Even though I did need it to get into my degree, but it enabled me to learn so much about how the world works
Yeah.
and how and how objects relate to one another and how universes are created and destroyed or whatever.
Nice.
You know what I mean? It made me the person that I am today, I think. It really helped to hone my critical thinking skills, and it really helped me to it really helped to give me perspective. You know what I mean? Perspective that we, on a grander scale of things, when compared to the size of the universe and all that, we are a speck of dust.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, it gave me ego death. Yeah. I didn't even need LSD for that. Gave me ego death on its own. And and the last one I would say, English language and literature, not mathematics, physics. The last one, also physics teacher, Pat Larry. Shout out to both of you. Fucking
You
amazing
remember
teachers.
everyone. That's how you know you made an impact when
Yeah.
however many years after you graduated high school you still remember their name.
I still remember their names.
Oh,
I'm torn between the last one because I actually have 2. It's 4 good ones for me. It's a theory of knowledge, which built on critical thinking skills and enabled me to. It's basically like how the central question within theory of knowledge was how do you know what you know,
Yeah.
and it helps you to really
Yeah.
build your critical thinking skills and reinforce your way of truly understanding what you understand and sort of helping you to learn. It helps you to learn in a
Yeah.
way that
Yeah.
filters out the bad stuff, and
Yeah, it's very meta, but like
it's very very meta.
yeah, you need to be school needs to, in addition to just giving you knowledge,
Yeah.
should train you how to tell what is good knowledge and what is bad knowledge.
Exactly.
right?
What is
Yeah.
fact from fiction? Shout out to Pat Kelly. And music, which enabled me at least an hour every day to just relax and take a breather
Yeah.
and just play music with my friends. You know, I had music class. Yeah. So my subjects for high school were physics, physics high level, mathematics standard level, English language and literature higher level, Bahasa Indonesia B higher level, music standard level, and what was the other one? Business and management standard level, as well as theory of knowledge. So yeah,
All right. That I mean, like,
I only have 4 good ones. I don't have any bad ones. I have to say.
yeah, okay. Well,
Says a lot about my privilege. I know.
that's that just goes to show that this one good ass school.
It's a really good
It's a
school.
good ass school. If you don't have, I want to keep the negativity to a minimum. So like we can do like 3 top, and then like you do one subject you really didn't like.
Yeah.
You not have any.
I didn't have any subjects that I didn't like. No.
Wow, man! Imagine going
Crazy,
to school
right?
happy.
That's yeah. And it really says a lot. It is possible. It is genuinely possible. The world doesn't have to be shit all the time. It just needs the right resources put into the right hands using the right methods and methodologies. And you can create a really good environment for your kids.
If only.
And you don't even need free school meals.
Yeah.
Yeah. If only all children in Indonesia can experience such privilege.
I wish they could.
One day.
Genuinely, one day. I hope so.
That's going to be your campaign 2045 promise.
Make
Every
national
school,
schools international schools. Maybe, I don't know.
Wait,
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, Daniel.
All right.
Okay, that was
now ask the question again. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
that was a bit of a technical difficulty, but we're going on.
The laptop outlived the recorder.
That's actually wild.
We were
Yeah,
worried
yeah.
about the laptop.
I'm proud
and
of
it ended
you.
up being the recorder. That became the issue.
you, Microsoft Surface.
That's
This is a
insane.
laptop that went to an international school. Anyway, give me top 3 subjects.
Okay, starting from like number 3, I think it's like history and sociology. They kind of merge towards the end because I am like, we didn't get to talk about IPA, IPS, but we'll do that later. But yeah, so that's like history and sociology, just because like I really like learning how people like come together and build stuff and build societies, and that's always been very fascinating to me. Second, oh no, not even second. I don't know. I think I just have 2 things for this. Like history and sociology was really good, and finally just like language arts, which is what we called English, I guess, which is kind of like combination of like lit, but also like writing and stuff like that. Now those subjects really formed me as an age, because it really taught me that like I could deliver. Sure, they made us write essays and stuff like that, right? Because it's like writing. But they also taught me that like, hey, you can say things, but you can also say things your way.
Yeah.
In a way that's very unique to you. This is an avenue for your creativity. And thankfully I also had very, very creative like LA teachers, like language arts teachers. Shout out Mr. Moon, shout out Mr. Howitt, shout out Mr. Weinbaum's, both the Weinbaums.
There are 2?
Yeah, father and son. And who else? I might. Those are the ones that I can remember. Towards the end, yeah, because y'all taught me like, that like, communication wasn't just communication can exist for more than its own sake. Communication can also be like for art, and like you can read and stuff like that. And we got to read a lot of literature. We got to do like, sometimes we even did like like plays based on like the books that we read and like the plays that we read, and just like play acting. That was really fun. Got to be super creative.
Learned how to express yourself as well.
Yeah, I guess if we want
Arts
to add
are
a
so-
third to this, I guess also like technically this is an extracurricular, but like theater.
Yeah.
I was a drama kid.
Yo,
Theater kids! Oh
Honestly.
no, we kicked out the one non-theater kid.
Get out of here.
Arts are so much more important than people make it out to be.
Yeah,
So important.
So important.
yeah. You gotta.
We got so many people with like anger issues in Indonesia.
If
Probably
they would
didn't-
only just been in a play.
Yeah.
Find a way to like channel that in a healthy way, but like
Yeah.
you know,
Just be in a play.
yeah. One thing that I hate,
Looking at you, Mr. President.
a subject that I hate, math and statistics. I could never.
You didn't have the brain for it.
I didn't have the brain for it. I recently discovered about a year back as well that I actually have a condition that it makes it like it doesn't make it impossible for me to do math, but apparently when you have ADHD, one of the other subdiagnoses is that you have a thing called dyscalculia, which means it's like it's not that you can't count, but your brain has a big problem processing large numbers. It's a little bit like people who with dyslexia, except this time the numbers get all jumbled up in my head.
What do they mean?
What are the numbers?
Numbers. What do
The
they
numbers,
mean,
Daniel.
Mason?
What do they mean? And like, yeah, just like math and statistics I could never take well to that. And I think it also like, unfortunately, I will not shout out the teachers. But unfortunately, most of the teachers have this attitude of like, math, we know you hate it, but you gotta do it. And they never really like took the time to being like, hey,
Why?
math can be fun, right? Like imagine how much more interested I would be if like
Math
for
was fun.
math class they let me write an essay for like an extra credit grade. I would have killed that shit, but no, they just made me do like fucking polynomials and matrices, and like I would be like, I'm dying over here. And like I don't understand like the Indonesian obsession of like you can't use a calculator
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
in class.
We need a calculator.
You can only use
Especially
calculators
for-
when you're doing like a trig and like cal or like pre-cal. If you're doing algebra and basic maths, no, bro, you can't
Yeah, no,
use
it's just
calculator
insane.
and be like, sure, fine, what the fuck ever. But I was so
Yeah.
fucking dumb.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to quickly interject by saying I didn't realize how much I liked maths until I was able to apply it into real life. So my final year project for my mathematics subject in my international school, I know, so privileged, was to and this was a project of your own choosing. So you could choose what kind of real world situation you want to apply your maths for. So I figured
I
out
think I know.
without googling much and just by pure, I feel so smart for this. I was able to figure out how to use mathematics to determine stint lengths in racing. In motor
I
racing.
fucking called it, man.
All right,
Yeah.
That's actually
For-
if they framed it in such a way, that would be so sick.
For-
I
for
would
t-
love math.
for tires and fuels.
yeah.
That's how I actually got a perfect score for that. So I'm really happy with
Nice,
that.
dude.
Yeah.
Great, yeah.
Anyway.
That's one of the ways I hacked my way through my final year assignment.
Right? Yeah, you
Right?
have to find
Where
a
it's
way
like,
to apply
I know
it.
I'm an international relations kid, but then I was being like, but what if my thesis, my final thesis was about movies. And so I spent my entire final year just watching 5 movies over and over and over again. But like, yeah, this is like, how about you, man?
Yeah,
What's
how
your
about
top
you?
3 and your
bottom one.
bottom?
All right.
Your bottom bitch.
It's easy. Top 3. Number 1. For obvious reasons, English. In like public schools, it's just bahasa Inggris.
Yeah.
Not just because I was just already good at it. I was good at it because I had exposure therapy. I just watched a fuck ton of like American cartoons.
Yeah.
That's why I have an American accent right now. So like English was always a breeze for me, but that wasn't like the only thing. Like it also gave me the foundations and the confidence to speak publicly. Like I can like figure out like a line that connects my trajectory of being like a journalist, of being like a reporter, like a news reporter, to that first time I did a public speaking speech contest in English. Like it all kind of like started from there, and I was hoping to kind of coast off like, oh yeah, I know English, but I didn't know public speaking.
Yeah.
But like from there, and my teachers, shout out Miss Asmara and Miss Yeti, who kind of like pushed me, kind of like, hey kid, like you're not hot shit. Like get your act together. You can't just like coast. You gotta actually there's some work you need to put into this.
Yeah.
So that kind of like, okay, shit, yeah, I gotta pull myself together, and like a lot of training, a lot of like self discovery, and like really like trying to prove myself. And from then, I did speech. I won a bunch of competitions for that. And in college, I did debate, and then all that kind of like formed my like my competency in the language, in not just like just being able to understand and speak it, but also like form coherent thoughts, and like be able to be argumentative and be able
Yeah.
to speak eloquently in front of a crowd or a camera. So that English, and then just briefly the other ones I like TIK, or like Teknologi Informasi Komunikasi, because we got to play with computers all day. Yeah, we got
Oh no, I mean computer class like everyone the teachers teaching things and we're all being like we're all playing CS:GO. We're all secretly playing CS 1.6.
1.6. Honestly, yeah, that was fun because we got to play with computers. Obviously, even though computers were all kind of like shit in the computer class, and also thirdly, same like you, I owe a lot to my theater extracurricular.
Yeah.
Shout out Kak Arum, who is like our instructor and slash alumni of that school, who was like super passionate with theater, and like we did all kinds of plays, like very traditional. We didn't do like Macbeth or like like Wicked or whatever, but like we did like a lot of like very traditional original plays. But it taught me to like play in a large ensemble and play my part and do it well, and like being part of like a big thing is like it's such a powerful experience. Like you're contributing like a small part, but like it makes into a much greater whole. So I really
It taught you gotong royong.
Gotong royong.
Yeah.
I really value my theater experience. I love being in theater.
You don't learn
The
gotong
ranking
royong from
took it
school.
away.
You learn gotong royong from drama,
From drama,
and music.
Yeah.
not from doing plays.
It says
The
a lot.
ranking took it away, but the theater gave it back.
They gave it back.
Yeah. Nuts.
Worst subject that I just didn't like. Initially, I was gonna say math. It was an easy answer to say math.
yeah.
You know what? I'll give you something else.
Let's hear it.
Worst subject, budi pekerti. Do
What
you
is that?
even know that there was such a thing as a
No,
budi
this
pekerti,
is
bro?
another international school moment. What the fuck is budi?
What is
pekerti?
that?
Budi pekerti.
Is it like PKN?
No, PKN is a separate thing. There's also budi pekerti, which is basically like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like how to be good and have ethics, and basically the stuff would be like,
Oh, like an ethics class?
but it's like the most useless math. Like it's difficult,
Yeah.
but like it's essential. It's super important. I just sucked at it.
So as a high school kid, you're taught like a little bit of like ethics, like
But
Indonesian ethics.
But ethics in like the most kind of like
I can imagine like the most bossy way.
basic like basic way, kind of like
Right.
if you saw a friend in need, if you saw a friend of fell down on the street, what would you do?
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Just like the most.
Damn.
It's not.
I can smell the Orde Baru on this
Yeah.
subject
It's not
so hard.
It's not offensive. It's just useless, and
Yeah.
I don't remember learning a single thing of substance from this.
Basically like a moral and ethics class, but for like very, very basic.
Yeah. basically.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
But anyway, oh shit. Kim. I'm sure you, as a teacher, of course, you probably have a lot to say about this. What were your favorite subjects? You know,
Damn, bro.
That's crazy.
Honestly, good on you, Kim. Good on you. That's
That's kind of brave to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, that's pretty shit.
It's bold. It's very
It is.
bold.
It is.
hot take.
Yeah.
Not really,
But yeah, I know.
But you know what?
Are you
Kim,
sure you want
do
to say that out loud?
We'll keep it in. We'll keep it in. If you want, then we'll keep it in. We'll keep it
Okay,
in.
well.
You do you.
Oh, with that being said, you know what? This has been it for episode 3 of the Totally Normal Folks podcast. I've been Arya, and this has been Satya, and this has been Dan. And anything to say to the kids watching at home? Stay in school.
Nah, fuck school. Rebel.
No.
Go to drama
Kids.
class.
Kids, school is
Learn sports.
School is what you make.
Learn
it.
sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, do sports and do drama.
Do drama. Do musicals. artsy stuff.
You too can be
they're the
Timothy
shit.
Chalamet.
You too can become a YouTuber.